Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and all addicts of every persuasion out there. Welcome to SE7 as the Valley prepares to get ready for the battle between Charlton Athletic and Birmingham City. And alongside me, as always, Mr. Greg Stubley, immediately to our right, and further to the right is Mr. Steve Brown. How are you, Steve?
Very well, Terry. How are you?
Good. Yes, good. Thank you. And this is my first opening for a while because I'm normally in the lounge.
Yep.
Because you're always very kind to ask me to interview legends that have come back. But it's International Women's Week, and it's her game today, and we've got Pauline Buenos and Keith Bonus in the lounge, and it's only right, I think, and it was clearly only right that Charlotte Richardson took part in that Q&A. I'd love to know how that went when I speak to Charlotte later. I'm sure it went superbly well because they were part of a women's team that was fantastic during 2000-2006. I don't know whether you know whether you have big memories of that period with the Charlton women, but certainly FA Cup winners, Premier League Cup winners, and got close to the top of the Premier League as well at that time. So the heyday, I suspect, it's easy to say for Charlton women, and it was great to have them here this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't remember in totality exactly the scenarios back then, but it was a successful period, and obviously Keith did a very, very good job for us back in those days, and it's good to have all players back, all representation at all levels, and it's appropriate that those two are in here today.
Well, obviously we're going to talk about today's game very shortly, and we'll shortly be hearing from Nathan Jones ahead of today. And now this game, Brownie, great draw up at whatever the stadium's called now. St Andrews of previous days, but up at Birmingham. Great result to come back from a goal behind, and deserved result, by the way, as well. Does that have any bearing on today's clash?
No, none whatsoever, I'm afraid. Yeah, I think in terms of when you have a January transfer window and the circumstances of your season changes, I think what's happened previously just completely and utterly goes out the window. What I can say is that Birmingham have lost the last two. That will have certainly taken their eye off the playoff spots. It will have really knocked them back a little bit because they were keen to probably close the gap. But they have won 3 of the last 4 away games, and they're a different animal away from home the second half of the season as they were the first. And that's sort of, what I allude to is that they were 23rd, I think, in away form before their current run, and they've won 3 out of 4, and still only 18th on away form, but they're a slightly different animal as well. And you know what? They've made multiple changes today as well, and again, you're not quite sure what to expect from them, but we have to make it about us. And I thought last Saturday was absolutely terrific, and I thought we were very, very unfortunate not to pick up at least a point. I actually thought personally, I don't know what anyone else thinks, but me personally, I thought we deserved to win.
I agree.
And I thought we should have certainly gone down the tunnel at half-time with at least a 1-goal advantage. Potentially could have been 2, and I think that would have wrapped up the game. But even Phil Parkinson afterwards in the boardroom said, we've absolutely got away with one there. And
didn't say it on Wrexham TV, I have to say.
Well, that is football in a nutshell for you, Terry. That is football in a nutshell.
It was a great listen, because you know what he's thinking.
Yes.
And you know what he has to say.
I'm no different at times.
Yeah,
there's things I can't say that I'd like to say, and they're different downstairs than they are on air. It's football. It's how you have to be, and unfortunately, you can't always be completely and utterly true to form. And Phil privately would have known his team got away with one, but that in itself is a plus for him.
Yeah.
To not concede on a day away at the Valley, which is a tricky old place to come at times, not concede when you've been under that amount of pressure, and nick it with a really good quality strike. It speaks volumes for where they're at, and that's what can happen in a season that's going well for you. But we've got to pick up the pieces, and we've got to pick up 1 or 2 points along the way. I still maintain, and I'll always will, that we're absolutely fine. But I'd rather put the points on the board sooner rather than later.
Absolutely that. Well, Nathan Jones would have cut a frustrating figure after that game against Wrexham. Charlton TV caught up with him in the week. Let's hear what Nathan Jones had to say ahead of today's clash. Nathan, just reflecting briefly on last Saturday, you obviously always analyse the matches, and you've been analysed that this week. Was it as frustrating to watch second time around as it probably was the first time?
Well, it's only frustrating because you know the outcome. Because apart from the outcome, the level of performance was excellent. It really was. We limited them to very little, and they've got some some excellent attacking talent. Even their goal, was a strike from the edge of the box, went through 2 players and things, but they found a way to win a game. Whereas with us, we had some clear-cut chances. Our attacking play, how we played, the energy, how we moved the football. The ironic thing was it was a polar opposite performance to the West Brom game, and we picked up more points for the West Brom game than we did for that game. So that's the frustrating thing. But the level of performance, when you ask, if we were 4 or 5 games in, then look, we'd be thinking, look, we're in a really, really good place. But with results being paramount at this point, that's the frustrating thing.
But with that, and I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit here, but and actually considering Birmingham, the way we played up at Birmingham the first time around, those performances and that level of performance, does that give everybody really just the confidence and the belief that we'll be okay in the running?
Well, we believe we'll be okay. We've got a good group. We pick up points. We would like to get a run of wins together so that it shoots us away from being involved in that. Yeah, absolutely. But there's a belief in the squad that we're going to be okay. In terms of what we have to do is replicate that level of performance in and out of possession, and then be a little bit more clinical.
On the game itself, Reece Burke's injury looked like it affected him badly, both emotionally as much as physically. Obviously, first of all, how's Reece, and also I think Luke Berry and Colin Sinchenjo picked up knocks as well. How are they?
Yeah, look, it was reminiscent of the Swansea game where it was a bit of a war zone, at times, and I don't mean to be flippant with that. I'm using that metaphorically, but it's just a tough game, in terms of them. Reece has had a really frustrating one because he's picked up injuries he's never had before. We've did everything we could. We didn't take him to West Brom, trained him so that he'd be ready for Saturday, because we knew that they're playing Collins regularly after him coming back off the back of half a pre-season in Serbia, and then coming into the energy and the intensity of a championship game. We knew it'd be tough, and it was just a knock-on effect. Lloyd came off in midweek and we had to put Collins on. Berkey came off and then we had to put Collins on, and then it's a knock-on effect, you know what I mean? That's the thing. So it was a tough game for Beza. Obviously Beza hasn't played many minutes, but has trained fully and been in excellent form. So it's just the frustration of losing a few players, because it just takes away that little bit of competition. But
Reece's injury looked like it might be a little bit serious. How is he? Is he okay? Generally, is it not as bad as you first?
Well, no, it's just a quad one. But the thing with Reece is he hasn't had a run of games, and when he's a fantastic athlete. He's a high loader. It's just he's picked up little things, and it's stuff that he hasn't picked up before, and there has to be a reason for that, which we're trying to get to the bottom of, and stuff. So it's just frustrating for him. Obviously, he was very emotional because having just coming back in to be out again, it is. But we'll get there with him.
Charlotte mentioned in the post-match after Wrexham that we've probably got 11 cup finals to go. By the end of the season, you'll probably feel like we played 46 cup finals. But is that a fair analogy that these 11 are going to be real full on?
Yeah, they are. I mean, every game's tough, but every game's different. Every game's in the Championship. There's no give me. Every game's an emotional roller coaster. The pressure, the intensity, what it takes out of you, and just at the 90th minute, there's relief one way or the other. That's what happens in football. But the Championship is relentless. The travelling, the intensity, the work it takes to go in to compete with tactically very good, athletic, talented teams. It's relentless. The Championship's relentless, and that's what we sign up for, and that's what we do. So yeah, it is like 11 cup finals, and as I said, but what a wonderful place to be.
Lloyd Jones picked up his 4th consecutive Player of the Month award for February. Proof, if proof were needed, in fact, that just how important Lloyd is, and how well he's adapted in the step up to the Championship. It must be delighted.
Well, he's been excellent since I came in. Obviously, we only had him for 4 games when I first came in February in 2024, but he's been excellent. Last season he was a big miss when he didn't play, and when he came back in, that coincided with a real good run of form for us. He's been excellent. He trains how he is. He's a threat. So look, we're delighted with him, and we've had to get the best. We've had to work hard to get the best out of him, but we are, and I said not to single out anyone, because we feel we've done decent work with pretty much everyone from as we keep saying about from where we were when we came in to where we are now. Then we are competing on another planet.
How good was it to have the week off, the week break, rather than because you mentioned about relentless, another 3-game week before, and we've got them coming up again, obviously over the Easter period.
Well, yeah, you can't keep going like that because of the intensity. You can't keep doing 3-game weeks. You know, the intensity of football, but championship football and everything. You know, you can't keep doing that. So we needed the week to relax. You know, we trained today, and they showed that they needed this week. You know, in the performance levels that we got today. It's been good that we've had that week. So yeah, so as I said, but then we're going into another one coming up. So but this is the championship. We keep saying it. We keep saying the same stuff. It is. Tactically, we'd have worked. We'd have rested a few. A few would have had some downtime. 1 or 2 would have had a bit of treatment because people like Amari also, you know, were struggling Saturday. So it's been worthwhile. And sometimes it's nice just to not be around everywhere because we spend, you know, higher number of hours around here and the work that we do. So again, everything's respite in terms of that.
And with that, Birmingham up at the weekend at the Valley, we had to show a lot of character and a big performance to come back from a goal behind at their place in Birmingham. We'll need more of the same, obviously, against a side that's probably got one eye on the playoffs.
Well, we say that every week. Every single team in the championship has something to play for, and for whatever reason, then yeah, we're going to have to be the best version of ourselves, and that's all we can preach, is just to be the best version of ourselves. If we are, then we're very tough to play against. You know, Wrexham are in wonderful form, but that was a wonderful performance against them. All he missed was a goal, or 2 or 3. But so we have to replicate that again.
Cheers, Nathan. So well, that was Nathan Jones talking to Charlton TV ahead of this afternoon's clash. And Brownie, look, when you, I mean, you've been in the manager's hot seat. You've been in that position as well as a player. And when you go through a performance like that against, and we did it against Southampton, we did it against Wrexham, not quite so much against West Brom and Portsmouth, perhaps. So, as a manager, when you go through like the peaks and troughs of that, you've got to be hoping as a manager and trying to make it that you get that performance every week. But I mean, human beings don't necessarily respond like that, do they?
Yeah, but what you can do when you have a result like that, but a performance like that, is there, funny enough, you can go back on the training ground and it's still extremely positive. Whereas if you have a performance like West Brom, even though you've got a point, you know, there are players out the side that are like, if I can't get in now, you know, so you've got, that's what you're wrestling with. Whereas last week, I think if the team gets announced today and there are no changes, you can go, I get that.
Yeah.
And the players outside. So you aren't just wrestling with performances, you're wrestling with the squad and justifying almost that players are kept out of it. And it's tough to do that when performances are poor. But I think this week there is a justification to leave 1 or 2 players that played really well last weekend that hadn't been playing in the side, is to leave them in. I think the worry for Nathan is that when you have a performance like that, and we created statistically what they count as 4 big chances, and we hit the target once with Sonny Carey at the end. They want the team to be able to convert more. Just give yourself a chance by hitting the target more often. You know, so in that penalty area, just that quarter of a second longer to compose yourself, get the right shot away, test the keeper, find the corner. That's all we're missing. And as a manager, there is absolutely nothing you can do other than a couple of sessions on the training ground finishing. That's it. You're reliant on that guy's technique in a moment. Everything else was perfect. The tactics were perfect. The setup was perfect. We created great opportunities. We just couldn't convert. And that's all he can ask, is that today, if we get 1 or 2, that the players show a little bit more quality in that penalty area, a bit more composure, finish those, and you're good to go. It's
almost, but it has to be almost untrainable, that, isn't it? Because, you know, it might be down to confidence. It might be snatching at a chance rather than taking your time. If you've already bagged 4 or 5 goals plus, you're more likely to slot it away. If you've missed a few and not quite got off the target or not scored as many as you'd want to, then you're snatching it a bit. Is that untrainable?
No, it's not untrainable, because repetition is everything.
Okay.
Absolutely everything. Now, I've coached guys, and it's amazing the difference in mentalities of strikers in terms of, I can put on a session and I can make it realistic to a game. So you can make the session how you want it to look. And so you can put the player shooting under a bit of pressure. You can be balls could be bobbling. You can make it on an angle, and that player, when he's shooting, is under a bit of pressure. So it's more game realistic. And I used to like strikers that wanted the session to be that way. And then I've worked with others that go, I just want to hit the back of the net, so make this session as simple as you can, because I want to score from 15, 16, 18. I don't need angles, I don't need pressure from the defender. I don't make it as easy as you can for me to finish, because I just get used to hitting the right shot at the right time. So the mentality of strikers doesn't change, Tel. But confidence is a factor. I can't argue with you on that one. It's undeniable. If there's a striker in good, even a winger, you look at Tyrese Campbell, when he's confident and he's on top of an opponent, you expect him to deliver. When he's up against someone he's got the measure of him, he finds it a little bit more difficult to get in the game. He seems to lose a little bit of confidence. And I'll never say to you that confidence doesn't play a part. It absolutely does. However, there's a technical ability in there as well. And that's the bit you can improve, Tel, with repetition over and over again, so that when you find yourself in that spot, the repetition of session after session, 20 minutes, after training every day, you're used to putting that ball in the back of the net. You're used to hitting it with the right part of the foot, because it's repetition that will get you on top of your technique.
Well, one of those players who you were talking about before, who was left out a little bit, and we're hearing that, and you'll hear very shortly actually, that was more down to managing him rather than just not being part of a successful side or not playing well, and that was kind of commentary. Some of us raised a few eyebrows when he was left out a few times, and now we know why, because he had that slight hip problem. And he mentions that kind of commentary as he caught up with Charlton TV also earlier this week. So let's just have a listen to what Conor commentary had to say ahead of today's game.
Conor, last weekend was a tough game that in reality we should have got more out of. What was your overall assessment of the game?
Yeah, I think obviously it's a tough game. Every game in this league is tough. I think we played some good stuff. Like you said, we had a lot of chances and probably felt like we should have taken them and then taken probably 3 points from the game, really. But they're a good side. They know how to win, really, and obviously they done a number on us. But I think we was unlucky, and we can take a lot of positives from it.
And the manager said after the game that not being clinical enough in the final third is what cost us. What do you and the team have to do to rectify that going into another championship game?
I think it's habits. I think we have to take that same sort of confidence we took in our play to control the balls as much as we did and create them chances. And obviously, it's keep getting in them positions to get them chances and the confidence to score. And obviously, the habits in training, we're working on it. We're working in final third work all the time and just trying to sharpen them tools.
And you marked 100 appearances for the club a couple of weeks ago. How did it feel to hit that milestone for a club like Charlton?
Buzzing. No, I was absolutely buzzing. I mean, I've loved it since I come in. A lot's changed. I think we're a better place now than when I came in, and I've loved my time here. And long may it continue. And it's just a great group of staff, group of lads to work with, and I've loved it.
And before this season, you played in the Championship with Peterborough and Rotherham. But how have you found it this season with us as a whole?
Enjoyed it, of course. I think it's my first time I've had like a full season here, and obviously at my club rather than being on loan. And there's been ups and downs. Obviously, we had such a great start, and then we've had some tougher times since then. But I think we're growing a lot as individuals and also as a group. And I think it's the challenge we all wanted, and we're really enjoying it. And
And we host Birmingham on Saturday. The reverse fixture was a tightly contested one where we came away with a point. What kind of challenge do you expect from them going into the game?
Yeah, of course we know them well. We obviously played them last year as well. Had 3 times last year, including the cup, and had some good games against them. And we know obviously the quality they've got, how good of a team they are, and it's a challenge. Obviously last year they won the league, and it was sort of like a yardstick in the league for everyone to measure themselves off. So it's a challenge to go against them, and we know how they want to play, and they sort of know how we want to play as well. So they're always tough games and enjoyable ones. So I'm looking forward to it.
And we go into a second straight game at home. Does that affect your approach at all, knowing you'll be stepping out in front of the Valley faithful again?
Of course, I think we know coming up to 2 years now, we've had a real strong home record, and I love playing there personally. I know the team does as well, and we obviously feel really confident with our fans there, especially attacking the covered end, and it definitely does give us a boost.
Cheers, thank you.
Thank you.
There we are. That was Conor commentary speaking to Charlton TV ahead of today's encounter, and also on his mind, of course, is the impending Ireland squad, which is going to be announced relatively quickly, I think, after this week. So we'll know at some point this week whether or not he figures in the Ireland squad, and of course we all hope he does. It's a pinnacle of anybody's career, obviously, and if he can get to the World Cup final as well, even better. They've got a small matter of the playoffs to get through first, which no mean feat. But yeah, we wish Connor obviously all the best starting today, because he is in today's side. We'll talk about the lineup specifically very shortly, but Charlton made the one change with the skipper coming back in, but Birmingham made 5 changes. You surprised with that?
Yeah, a little bit, yep. But he'll have his reasons. They've been beaten twice. I mean, obviously there's the case for the Millwall one with a sending off, but last week they were beaten just by a better side. I think Middlesbrough seem to be flying this year.
That's a factor, surely.
Yeah, and then, you know, again, we don't know what they're going through in terms of, you know, players under stress, minutes played, etc., etc. But I wasn't expecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 changes. No, but their away record, you know, has picked up. But yeah, look, if they're going to have any chance of catching the team in 6th, they have to really win today. So the pressure is on them. You know, our pressure comes from, you know, 1 or 2 results have gone against us. I did say to somebody downstairs, the Oxford result against Preston, okay, so Oxford have won, but we play Preston here, and they look like a shadow of the team we played up there. They really were out of sorts last night, and I just think that's their season. It's capitulated. They're plummeting down the league. So actually, I think it's a great time to be playing Preston. It was a game that I didn't think was particularly easy on paper, but having watched last night, they've got nothing to play for. They can't go down. They're not going to get the playoffs. They've had players go back to their parent loan clubs. They look like they're in a bit of bother.
It's funny, you mentioned that, and it sort of lends into a question I was going to ask you, whether it be on air or off air, is that with this increase to the 8 team, the extra 2 teams in the playoff scenario, so down to 8th, games like, you know, you look at teams like Preston and maybe even Hull, or teams that are falling away a little bit, or seem to have done recently. When it's down to another couple of sides, that extends that a little bit. So games now that, as you've just mentioned, well, Preston could be a good game to take, and that might not necessarily be the case next season. Yeah,
but I think that's exactly why they've done it, Tel, is to try and make as many clubs have something on the games all the way up till the final weekend. You know, and I've been in teams here, funny enough, where we've you know, particularly in the early days, the early 90s, where we finished 15th, 14th, and those last 3 or 4 games, you really don't want to get injured. You do not want to spend the summer recovering from an injury when you've had a long season. So without any shadow of a doubt, it tails off, because those naughty challenges that you might make in October to try and get a result, you don't make in April, because you just don't want to be here during the summer. You want a summer off. But I think that's the whole point of extending it, is so that more teams have got more to play for.
Well, they're not thinking us poor fans who, I mean, we're sitting here this season at least thinking, well, it'd be nice if we just have the last 2 or 3 games where we've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen much anymore,
well,
is it?
From
we're going to be biting our nails right through.
From our perspective, we would love to be in a position we've got nothing to play for. We're safe. Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And I do think we'll get there. Like I said, I'd love to see 3 points today, because then I think everybody will go, OK, we're only 2 wins away from that magic 50. But, you know, every game you have to earn the right. I know it's a cliche. I know it's boring to hear. But that's the first thing. First 10 or 15 minutes, get on top of this Birmingham side, earn the right, get the home crowd behind you, and then that's your platform to go on. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to relax.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We mentioned it earlier on, and Keith Bonus and Pauline Coke-Bonus are coming onto the pitch and getting it. Warm round of applause. Dave's made them virtually walk to the other side of the pitch. Bless him. And good to have that memory of the fact that Charlton women, you know, won the FA Cup, won the Premier League Cup, and were flying high. And there's a picture in the on the scoreboard, of course, with Pauline alongside Karen Hills, of course, was part of that side, and then now the manager and flying.
Yeah, and Karen was hoping to be here as well today, but circumstances meant she couldn't make it, and obviously, you know, everybody knows the success that the women's team are having at the moment. It's an unbeaten season, and she's looking very much likely they're going to get promoted to the Women's Super League. So it's been a wonderful season. But yeah, look, if you're going to have an ex-players, it's inclusive of everybody. Absolutely. And you know, what I would say is that was a successful period. And then we had a barren spell, and then obviously there was that, you lost Premier League status and the women's team suffered. And it's great to see, again, from an ownership perspective, that we've got everything under an umbrella and we're working towards everything, you know, as one club. You know, and then there is a commitment from the ownership on that, because as everybody knows, it probably doesn't get the finance is back into the club that we're required to run it smoothly, but you know they're putting the money up that allows us to have a very, very competitive women's team. It's great to see.
And I think the Trust should take a huge amount of credit for that, because obviously, as you said, we lost our Premier League status and something had to give because of the costs, and the women's team, funding the women's team was part of that cost-cutting exercise, and the Trust picked it up. The Trust then restarted the women's team, and we had to struggle in the basement of the divisions for a considerable amount of time. And of course then, fortunately, it was brought back into the club. And since Karen Hills has taken over, there's been a few seasons of nearlies, because she's done a fantastic job under fairly difficult conditions, budget-wise and everything else. And now just suddenly she's starting to reap the rewards of that, of all the hard work that she and others have put in, and the team. So, it's great to see, because it's not something, sometimes you see aspects of clubs that are just funded astronomically to achieve success. And this has come through hard work.
Yeah.
Yes, of course you need funding, of course you do, and the club and the owners should be applauded for doing so. But a load of hard work has gone into this as well.
Yeah. I mean, look, the amount of work that goes on at a football club behind the scenes is, I don't think people are ever quite quantify it. It's extensive, and it's thankless at times, because no one sees it, no one cares about it, and. What you do need is a focus, a laser focus at times on making things successful, especially when you've got the lower end of the budget. That you can't win things quickly with zero budget or low budgets. You have to build, and you have to build a foundation, and that's what the women's team have done over the last 2 or 3 years. And yes, they've come close a couple of times, but they've come close to teams that have had much bigger budgets, who have come down from the Super League, who have got naturally bigger squads and more money. But it's finally, we've got ourselves in a position where, we're going to get into that Women's Super League, and it's going to be a new experience for everybody, But what I would say is, it's a loss-making machine, right? And if you're going to be one club, that has to be incorporated into the club. And that's the wonderful bit to see, that it is. And it's not an arm we're going to lose because X, Y, and Z. It's covered.
Fantastic, and perfect timing as the two sides come out of the tunnel and head towards the halfway line. And as they do, I'll read you out the two sides, starting with our visitors. Birmingham City in goal for them, number 21 Ryan Alsop, 4 the captain Christoph Clara, 8 Pak Sung Ho, 10 Damari Gray, 14 John Solis, 23 Carlos Vicente, 24 Tomoki Iwata, 29 August Prisk, 31 Kai Wagner, 33 Marvin Duksch, and 37 Jonathan Panzo. The subs for Birmingham City: Bradley Mayo, Ethan Laird, Phil Neumann, Jack Robinson, Patrick Roberts, Ibrahim Osman, Bright Asai Samuel, Kanya Fujimoto, and Jay Stansfield. The Charlton side will line up with in goal, number 25 Will Mannion, 2 Kane Ramsey, 5 Lloyd Jones, 6 Connor Coventry, 7 Therese Campbell, 10 the captain Greg Doherty, 14 Sonny Carey, 17 Amari Bell, 19 Luke Chambers, 44 Harry Clark, and 99 Lyndon Dykes. Subs for Charlton: Tiernan Brooks, Macaulay Gillespie, Miles Leeburn, Connor Cody, Charlie Kelman, Joe Rankin Costello, Keenan Goff, Ibrahim Fuller, and Jaden Fevrier. The referee for this afternoon is Sam Ellison, and he's going to be assisted by Robert Hyde and Darren Williams, and your fourth official is Lee Doughty. Just to remind you that if you've got your commentary for today's game and you've purchased a match streaming pass, you can purchase an annual pass for just £240, which gives you coverage of every league game that the club can show in your region. Commentary today is sponsored by club partner NordVPN. As the dignitaries, the match sponsors, will head towards the centre circle with the mascots to take part in the pre-match handshakes and photographs. Alongside me, Greg Stubbley will take over in about, normally it'll be about 22.5 minutes, but I've been hogging the limelight.
It's getting further and further in as well.
So he might come in about 40, I reckon.
Yeah. Should get added on time.
We all know.
Sorry, Greg, I can't cough at the moment.
The only reason Greg's here is because his carers brought him.
Yeah.
Because Katie brings the cookies.
I know.
The only reason he's here.
I know. And the thing is,
I've got to say it again because Katie's now listening. The only reason Greg's here is because Katie brings the cookies.
Brings the cookies, looks after him. Honestly, he'd be lost. He'd be a lost individual if Katie wasn't here.
Well, he'll take over as long as he's not munching on a cookie in about 22.5 minutes in. The dignitaries are just leaving the pitch. It's left to the captains to decide who's playing where. Charlton, obviously, traditional red shirts, white shorts, red and white socks. Birmingham City in their change strip of white with a blue and black diagonal cross. Black shorts and white socks. The Jimmy Seed stand away to our right-hand side. Not quite full, but maybe by the time we have kick-off, maybe they're still receiving refreshments behind the stand. And so it could be reasonably full by the time we kick off. Oh, by the way, we're swapping ends. Oh, that's not going to go down well.
Booing.
Not going to go down well at all.
Booing before we've kicked off.
We are changing in, so Charlton will be attacking the covered end in the first half. I bet if you're a goalkeeper, you're livid. You've got to
Yeah, I don't know.
all the way from one end to the other. But
I don't know about that.
if we want a lively start, if you want to get off to a flyer, then what better way to do so than in front of the covered end?
Yeah. Well, it can work in your favour, because if you get on top of the game and the atmosphere changes and the covered end's in full voice and you take the lead, one can become two quickly, and then you've got that lead to protect in the second half. But yeah, I mean, it was certainly met with a resounding chorus of boos.
Well, somebody hasn't read the script, and it must have been Birmingham City, because Charlton have kick-off. Mind games aplenty here at the Valley. It's a grey afternoon, but not too cold. Thought about not wearing the coat, but then thought better of it. So it'll be Sonny Carey over the ball. It will get us underway here in South East London. Back to Mannion, still deputising for the injured Kaminski. Ball up towards Dykes, who has obviously got a vested interest in this afternoon as well, having joined us from Birmingham City. And the header clearance that Dykes couldn't get his head on. Let's go straight back to Mannion, so he'll have another go at clearing this. Drops it to the floor and does exactly that down the middle. This time it's gone, well, actually slightly left. Campbell really jumped into Iwata there. And it will be a free kick to Birmingham. And you're right, Bernie, as is Greg, as he always is.
Yeah, he's
he's on
good.
the right side of the back foot.
Yeah, learned to trust him now as well. Didn't
Well,
trust
that's a bit of a stretch. I'm not sure about that.
Didn't trust him in the early days, so he's not got that right.
Early days.
But
When he was just a lad.
when he was just a wee scrubber. No right reply. Just calm down next to it. All right, calm down.
Allsop in goal in place of Beadle this afternoon. Sends it forward, the free kick out towards the Charlton penalty area. Jones will jump and get his head to it, but it will deflect out to Wagner. His ball forward. Don't go straight out of play. Charlton will have a throw on the right-hand side, and Clark will leave it to Kane Ramsey.
Yeah, a bit of a scruffy start, isn't it? It's long balls at the moment, aerial battles. Game's going to have to be 4 or 5 minutes old, I think, before this one settles down. Neither side willing to risk playing out from the back at this moment in time.
Ramsey with the long throw, cleared away. Coventry with the header. It's a bit of head tennis now. It's flicked inside. Chambers pursues it. Just leave it out of the way, though, by Vicente. And it's worked out to Iwata on the right-hand side. Ball into the feet of Damari Gray, but taken off his toes by Greg Doherty, trying to send Dykes on his way through the middle. Just couldn't get there. Birmingham City have it back with Seung Ho. Into Seung Ho again. Clara just behind him, and across to Iwata again on the right. Down the line is Vicente, goes past Bell on the run on this right-hand side for Birmingham. Ball into the box, headed away by Jones. Chambers collects it for Charlton, goes back to Bell. It's going to be under pressure here. A little touch to Doherty, who does well to avoid the attentions of the Birmingham City press. Ball upfield looking for Dykes, who gets a flick on but can't find Campbell. Clara clears it away. Ramsey with a little nudge on his man, gets a knee to it, and be picked up by Seung Ho. Down to the left-hand side, there's a late challenge coming there from Dykes. There's some previous there from when he was at the club, because Panzo's just gone to ground after a slightly hefty challenge.
I take it Dykes was released then rather than
Wagner
loaned.
gone down? Couldn't see the
I think that's Wagner, yeah.
No, it is. I can just see Panzo, there now. It is Wagner.
I take it Dykes was released from his contract rather than loaned, otherwise he wouldn't be eligible for today's game. Right, yeah. So there is that chance then that one or two that may have upset him. Might be in for a little late challenge, yeah.
There may have been a training ground skirmish in the memory of Dykes on that little.
And that, let me
left
tell
his
you,
foot in.
that absolutely does.
I'm sure it does.
Go on.
I know from personal experience it does. Not at this level, obviously.
No. There's one or two names you think, if he ever comes back when I'm playing for, yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's going to be a free kick. It's on the left-hand side, 10 yards inside the Birmingham half, and Allsop has come out of his penalty area to take this, the Birmingham goalkeeper. Everybody lined up about 10 yards away from the Charlton penalty area as it's sent towards that penalty area. Mannion comes out and claims it well. Yeah. Jones takes a bit of a whack as he tried to protect Mannion from the onrushing Clara, and he's just rubbing the top of his head.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be absolutely fine. And I'll tell you what, that was a nice early decision from Mannion. That ball was coming a long way. It was 10 yards into the Birmingham half, and he just picked up the flight. And I've said this before, there is nothing better as a centre half when you're coming under an aerial bombardment. Your keeper just comes and makes a claim like that. That was really confident from Mannion.
Chambers for Charlton down the left, up towards Dykes, who trying to flick it round the corner towards Campbell. It just didn't find its mark, and Birmingham have it back. Iwata inside to Solis. Across to Wagner, so loose ball inside from Wagner, but Dykes couldn't get out, but in the rush to clear it away, Clara sent it straight out of play for a Charlton throw.
Yeah, well, it was nearly a wonderful crossfield ball, wasn't it? But I think that's their danger man for me in these early stages. He's looked bright, he's looked sharp, great. He's come off that left-hand side. He's gone up alongside the centre-forward Prisk to try and get a support position and fed back into midfield from Prisk. And he's also come right across at the edge of the box onto this right-hand side to receive into feet as well. He's looking quite lively.
Charlton throw looking for Dykes, battled into by Panzo. Referee says there's nothing wrong with that, and it's Panzo in possession again. Has to go back to his keeper. Also on the edge of his area, will drill this through the middle, looking for the run of Vicente. Bell gets there first, and Connor Coventry tidying up back to Lloyd Jones. Now to Chambers, left him a bit to do, but he's got it inside to Coventry. Try to go down through the middle to send Campbell on his way. Deflected away by Solis. It's a Charlton throw on this left-hand side, just in front of the Birmingham dugout, with Chris Davis passing the ball to Amari Bell. Amari Bell will send the throw down the line, looking for Dykes. It won't reach him. Iwata with the headed clearance. It's a flick inside by Prisk, but cleared away by Ramsey. Not to a Charlton shirt though. Clara will send it through the middle, but that'll bypass everybody and run through to Mannion. 6 minutes gone, still goalless here at the Valley.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is that their pressure onto the ball, Birmingham's, is forcing us to go long quickly. We've not been allowed to settle at the moment, and going long has led to Birmingham winning the knockdown. And when they win the seconds in midfield, they don't mess about. It's not 1, 2, 3 touch. It's bop back into someone, one touch, bang. They're moving the ball very quickly to avoid the pressure, and yet applying a lot of pressure onto us.
Well, Mannion's clearance goes straight the way through to his opposite number, also. And now clears it forward, and it's going to do likewise. Although Mannion's out of his area, he probably could have waited for that to come in, but he didn't take the chance. Sends it forward. Campbell being manhandled out of the way by Clara. Bell receives the clearance straight to Chambers. Now trying to send Campbell on his way again. Clara again in the way. A flick on in the midfield. Touch by Prisk. Straight to Bell. Got Mannion in support behind. Again looking for Dykes with the out ball. There's a little flick from Dykes. Oh, Campbell almost got there, but not quite. And Charlton will pick it up in midfield though. Carey back out to Bell. Bell got space to move into if he wants to. Finds Campbell. Campbell back to Bell. Charlton trying to find spaces. Nothing immediately available. I think that ball from Bell was looking for Jones, but it's Mannion who picks it up for Charlton. Now Jones will bring it forward. A crossfield ball looking for the runner Campbell, but it's not going to reach him. Clara in the way. Straight to Carey though. Carey cuts inside. He's got Bell to his left. Bell again, he's got space to move into if he wants to, and he does. Chambers making the run ahead of him. Chambers into the penalty area, but the ball skips away from the surface and through to Allsop. The Valley crowd, the covered end specifically, saying that Allsop had palmed it out of play, but that would have been generous in the extreme. Yeah,
but I like the run from Chambers from left wing back, and the key to that was Vicente didn't track. So I'd try that move again.
Panzo running forwards, initially cut out by Clark, but it's the interception has gone straight back to Panzo. He swings the ball into the box. Lloyd Jones with the headed clearance. He'll be picked up by Solis. Solis Iwata ahead of him. He's made grounds as a right back, but he's given it to Gray. Gray back to Solis, now out to the left-hand side. Down the line, Clark in the way, throw in, quickly taken into the feet of Dux. Coventry on hand to intercept, goes back to Mannion, who sends it forward, and a tussle between Panzo and Dykes leaves Dykes on the floor. Charlton have a free kick in the centre circle.
I'm not sure they should, but
I wasn't actually looking, if I'm honest. Not at that particular challenge. I was following the flight of the ball.
I was, and I think if you get to that stage there where you're giving free kicks for that, you might as well go non-contact, because there was.
I thought we already had.
Oh yeah, pretty much tell that there wasn't a lot in that. Dykes has won that as opposed to it being an actual free kick. But we're struggling to get the ball down at the moment. The pressure is really good from Birmingham. That can't be sustained. So I reckon 15, 20 minutes in.
It is what they're known for, though, that press, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's no way you can sustain that level of pressure. We've just got to be patient.
Carey's free kick switched across towards Jones. Will get ahead to it, but he can't find Doherty, although he's battling away to skipper, and he found Campbell. Campbell lifts it back in. Dykes with a header, just cleared away before it can get to him. Ramsey can't get to the dropping ball, and Birmingham look to clear it away with Gray. Clark making it back to make that difficult and forces Gray backwards. Wagner then sends it forward, looking for the run of Vicente. Bell does extremely well to just marshal him out of the way and finds Jones with the out ball. Now Chambers. Campbell to his left. Chambers looking for runners, provided by Dykes through the middle, but it's sort of not one thing or the other. Chambers, he thought about Dykes. Clark was out there as well.
Yeah,
he sort of split the two. Wagner gets his header back to also.
I think he should have gone Clark on a diagonal. Fullback had tucked in around to cover the centre half on Dykes, and that left Clark available on the diag.
Well, Charlton's turn to Brest Birmingham in possession, and the out ball from Birmingham defence avoids Gray, picked up by Coventry. Jones now. Carey had come short, but big marshalled, so by Seung Ho. So Jones tries to pick out Clark on that right-hand side, just put too much on it, drifts out of play for a Birmingham throw, quickly taken back to Panzo. It's back to his keeper Allsop, and be under pressure from Dykes very shortly. So we'll clear it away. I'm not sure he meant that, but it's a good ball in the end to Vicente.
Oh, he did tell. The one thing he's known for, Allsop, is his distribution. He will take a risk, and he has got that 70, 80-yard pass. I don't remember up at Birmingham where they tried to suck us in short to put the pressure on. They went long to the two wide players, and it was Allsop's distribution that did that. Very, very good in possession.
And they are still in possession, Birmingham, with Seung Ho out right to Clara into Charlton territory. Ball forward to Iwata, trying to turn it round the corner. Well read by Coventry, and then Doherty tries to go back to Amari Bell, but referee judged that Gray had fouled Coventry after he'd taken the ball off his toes, and so Charlton will have a free kick halfway inside the Charlton half, left of centre, and with 11.5 minutes gone, coming up to it's.
Oh, I thought you were going to hand over early.
Well,
give me his minutes back.
Try and get, yeah. He sent me a timesheet. I owe him, apparently.
Game's dead, so you're not missing anything if you're listening in.
Just waiting for the free kick to be taken. Mannion prepares to do so, and now he does. Again, looking for Dykes, who comes short for this time and gets a good header on it. Campbell just can't get there. If he could have just got his head to it, Doherty was running alongside of him. That could have got through, but as it is, it's claimed by Allsop, who tries to go down the Birmingham left, puts far too much on that. Ramsey will allow this to run out of play for a Charlton throw-in. Deep in the Charlton half on the right-hand side, though.
Yeah, I think that's an example of what I was talking about on the distribution, Tel.
It's quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, and accurate. You know, out of his hands, sidewinder volley, 70 yards. He definitely got one of the better. He's one of the better distributors as a goalkeeper.
Does really well to win it back, and then Campbell was having his shirt pulled off him, but Charlton managed to avoid it, and Chambers will pick it up and find Campbell running ahead of him. Just took a heavy touch, although the pass created that. Now Campbell trying to get a cross in. It's blocked. Back in possession, though, Charlton, with Campbell. Doherty finds Therese Campbell once more. Can he make room for a cross? He's got Bell in support behind him. Finds Campbell again in space. Campbell back to Bell. Charlton making good progress down this left-hand side, but then Bell runs out of room, but Campbell will pick it up. Oh, a heavy touch. Takes it away from him. Birmingham clear. But it will recycled by Connor Coventry. Carey back to Jones. Coventry once more. Looking for an out ball provided by Chambers on the left-hand side. Forced backwards. Charlton struggling to get out of this corner, and Birmingham come away with possession as a result, but they give it straight to Carey. He's got Clark on the right-hand side. Clark looking to take on Wagner. On the right, tries to swing across him, blocked away, but it'll be picked up by Carey. Now Clark again. Coventry also in support behind. Across to Jones, got Bell to his left. Campbell trying to peel out, but Chambers available immediately in front. Chambers, little square ball to Doherty. Chambers again. Birmingham back in numbers. Everybody behind the ball for Birmingham as Charlton switch it across to Clark. Back inside to Carey. Looks first time for the cross. Doherty getting there just beyond him. Campbell won't be close enough to it to pick it up. And it's cleared away.
He should have been a lot closer than that, though. You know, there was a lot of build-up time down that right-hand side between Clark and Carey, and when that ball comes in, your left side are really, or your left front player really should be much further inside the penalty area to apply pressure. Vicente's not the best defensively, switches off, you can get off his shoulder. If there's one bit of advice I'd give Campbell is take a risk when that ball's being built up on that right-hand side.
Charlton take the throw into Amari Bell. Trying to find Dykes with the ball. It's cleared away though. Coventry will pick it up for Charlton. Doherty with a little flick, but Campbell would have been offside. So Watter will just allow that to go out of play for a goal kick, and a moment for Charlton which didn't end in a creation of any goal-scoring opportunity, but it was a good movement in the first place, just not the final result.
And it's nice to see that when Carey's building up down that right, Doherty's taking a chance and a risk to get in the middle of the 6-yard box. He wasn't too far off it being a brilliant run, but again, you know, just Campbell just assessed the situation. Could have crept in a little bit earlier and been on the move to attack it around the back.
Well, Lloyd Jones has found Therese Campbell, who flicks it inside superbly. Finds Doherty. Now Coventry back to Bell. Bell will find Coventry once more. Sent him scampering a little bit, but he will catch up with it. Back to Ramsey. Clark makes a run on the right-hand side, and Ramsey's trying to find him. Takes a deflection as it was
good spot,
off Ramsey's boot, and it will be a Charlton throw.
Good spot that.
Carey back to Clark. Risky ball inside, and Coventry does well to rescue the situation for Charlton. Clark's ball was wayward and almost picked off by Prisk. Charlton go back to Mannion. Lifted ball looking for Dykes, but it goes beyond him. Campbell trying to get there, but Clara will get there first. Ball out to Wagner, he has to go back to his keeper, and Dykes puts the pressure on. Allsop clears it away, looking for Gray. Ramsey will get there first with his head. Launches it skyward, but nobody there in a red shirt. Clara with the header. Prisk a little flick on to Gray, and he gets it back. Prisk ball through the middle, looking for the run of Vicente, but too much on it. And Mannion steps out and claims.
Yeah, that was a nice little bit of link up in a very tight space, which allowed them to break the lines and play forward. But I think Charlton have enjoyed the last 5 minutes. I think they've upped the pace, upped the tempo, and been put.
Well, Prisk has just run into Lloyd Jones and absolutely flattened him as he got the ball away. And that has to have some repercussions. That he gets a yellow card.
I tell you what, I think I'd like to see this close
up. Was it an elbow?
It's late, and it's right across the chops.
Well, Lloyd Jones will be remembering that.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't know if it's a clear.
Well, he walked away very quickly, Prisk. He knew he was in trouble. The referee gave him a yellow card, and Lloyd Jones, I think, is going to have a word here.
Yeah, it's more of a shoulder barge than it is an elbow, so a yellow's the right decision, but it's very, very late.
We'll keep an eye on that next time Prisk gets the ball.
Greg's face is telling me.
Well, if Greg thinks it's bad, it must be, because he's normally the voice of reason, is our Greg, isn't he? So here it comes. Oh no, that's nasty, and that's a lifted shoulder as well, by the way. That's a lifted arm up after he connected with the shoulder. So there was, yeah, that's naughty. And I think that's in. I mean, obviously in your day it's normal, but.
It would give me a reason to.
Oh, absolutely.
Chop his legs down on the halfway line.
Keep a close eye on the next time Prisk gets the ball. As Birmingham take a bit of a gamble playing it out, but they have done, and Iwata picks it up for Birmingham. Up to Vicente on the Birmingham right, taking on Bell. Trying to go past him. Bell keeps with him and gets a foot in as well, but Vicente keeps possession. Back to Iwata. He's going to get it into the box. Cleared away by Ramsey. It will be a Birmingham City throw on this right-hand side. That's
by some distance the best move of the game. Built up from their back line. And Iwata playing a big part of that. But I think this one could turn a little bit naughty. I have to say.
He's up for it, Prisk, and him and Ramsey now have just clashed. And I think maybe Kane Ramsey is taking a turn on him after what he did to Lloyd Jones.
Yeah, I think he's putting himself about, Prisk, and it's just I quite like the fact it's a different defender applying the pressure, the physical pressure, than Jones. Got to stand your ground when it starts to get a bit physical. You cannot let the opposition in any way get an advantage physically on you. If it's going to go that way, go toe to toe all day.
Well, throwing on this right hand side, Iwata into Dukes, gets it back. Iwata, he's got it again. Still on this right hand side, goes back to Clara. Ball down the line, picked off by Greg Doherty. Superb interception by the Charlton captain. Can he send Dykes away? He does. Dykes with the keeper off his line. Is he going to try and lift it? No, he tried, but he couldn't get underneath it. And look at his face. Real opportunity there. Allsop was miles out of his goal. And Lyndon Dykes saw it, but he just couldn't shape his body enough to get underneath it to lift it over the Birmingham City keeper, and it goes out for a goal kick.
Well, it's a brilliant interception from Doherty and an even better pass. But if I was scouting that, I'd say Lyndon Dykes is not particularly confident in his weaker foot.
Well, Seung Ho's just gone down in a challenge, and Charlton had possession back. Campbell into the area, trying to cross it across. Doherty trying to get there, and it's clash of heads, I think, with Clara, as they both went for it. It's bounced up into the keeper's possession, but there could be some physio assistance required here.
I'm surprised he hasn't just called the physios on immediately. It's a clear clash of heads. But yeah, going back to the opportunity, I thought it was a brilliant interception from Doherty. The pass was exquisite, perfectly weighted in between two players. Lyndon Dykes coming out, you can't run round that opportunity. You either take it left foot and have a go, or you wait for support. But he took the shot, and you can't run round it like that. You're not going to get the power or the accuracy when you're running around a ball in that manner.
Well, Birmingham are unhappy. They felt that there was a foul on Seung Ho just before that. Who stayed down, he's only just getting up to his feet. The referee waved it away. The referee, the Birmingham bench and the players weren't overly impressed with it, but I didn't see it personally. It was an off-the-ball thing that I couldn't catch. But both Clara and Doherty are up on their feet. Didn't need physio treatment. Made of sterner stuff.
No,
ref we carry on.
Yeah, ref called it right. He's actually done all right, referee, so far.
Ball forwards, flicked on by Prisk. Jones clears it away. Doherty battling in there. Drops to Coventry, trying to send Campbell on his way. Dykes is across there as well, but Campbell will pick this up for Charlton. Campbell on a run down the left-hand side. Nobody in the centre at the moment. Still Therese Campbell trying to drill it across. It'll find its way to Clark. Clark, can he finish? Oh, it takes a deflection, did it? Yes. Away for a Charlton corner.
Yep. A couple of great things in that. Brilliant block from Lyndon Dykes to allow Campbell to have space to then attack down that left-hand side. I love the way Tyrese Campbell drove on the outside. No fancy delivery required. He did the right thing. Left boot, straight through the back of the ball. It's fired across the 6-yard line, out to Clark. First touch a tad heavy, and it was a decent block in the end, but that was a great move from Charlton. First real big opportunity.
And it's resulted in this corner on the Charlton right-hand side. Swung in, deep one. Coventry coming on. It's did it take a touch off the keeper, or did Coventry get the final touch? Just trying to see. Difficult to tell from this angle.
Oh, he did. Keeper's touched it onto him.
On the Coventry.
Yeah, he's lining his left boot up to connect with the flight of the ball as it's coming, and there's a little flick off of Allsop's glove, and it takes it into Coventry's thighs. But what I love about that set piece is everyone thinks that's going to Jones. We're doing that set piece over and over and over, where he peels off to the back. This time he drags his man inside the far post, and Coventry from the edge of the box round the back. Love that set piece.
I tell you, arguably with that touch from Allsop.
Yeah, he's lining up to side foot it with the left foot, and it just comes off his fingertips and hits his thigh. I like that though.
Well, we're 22 minutes in, and normally I'd wait another half hour before handing over you to Greg Stubley, but just a quick word from Brownie, and it'll be Greg Stubley to take you through the rest of this first half.
Yeah, listen, we've had a couple of really good opportunities there, and we're just starting to find a way. I did say they can't sustain pressure the way they were in the first sort of 10 minutes, and that has subsided a little bit. And it's no coincidence that we've just started to be able to play a little bit of football, get the ball down, and we've just conjured up a couple of wonderful moves.
Well, thank you, Tel. Yeah, the bill's in the post, my friend. Dykes with the flick onto Pack and drops away of Coventry, who clearly handballed just now. That wasn't spotted by the referee, much to the frustration of Birmingham City, who haven't started cleanly. Although, talking of not clean, it's a wayward ball from Kane Ramsey, diagonal, which goes out to play. After 23 minutes, it's Charlton 0, Birmingham 0 here at the Valley. drizzle in the air. It's not a nice March day, has to be said. We've been lucky with a bit nicer weather, but that hasn't happened today. Here come the flood of messages saying it's 29 degrees in Outer Mongolia or wherever you're watching Charlton TV today. As Connor Coventry gets across his man, and again might have been a Birmingham City throw, but instead it's Charlton's, and Mari Bell will take. As he goes long, Dykes the target, it's over the head of Lyndon Dykes. Clara clears it only as far as Chambers. Ball forward. Clara the header. Campbell controls. Left-hand side. Trying to work his way through 3 Birmingham bodies, just well to guide it back to Bell. Inside to Doherty, lays it off, looking for Campbell, just slightly wayward, but applause from the Charlton fans. They can recognise the attempt there.
Yeah, I think you're always going to get a little bit of a pat on the back when you try and build up play and create opportunities. Campbell looked like he's got the bit between his teeth. He's going to have one of those days, if we can get it to him, he's going to be quite dangerous, I think, on this left-hand side.
Bell the header forward. Dykes trying to get there, and Panzo will have to deal with it. And Campbell is breathing down his neck. The ball wayward to Wagner, up towards Gray. Good change comes in from Ramsey. The referee's given a foul, which seemed a bit harsh at first viewing.
Well, it would be. And I tell you what, I think he's got down the side and made good contact with that, and I do think Gray, I need to see it a little bit closer up and maybe slow down a little bit, but I thought he just got down the side as a marker there and made contact with the ball first. Let's have a little looky. Yeah, I don't see a great deal wrong with that. He's got his right boot down the side and made contact with the ball. No,
yeah.
Or am I?
No, I agree. I agree.
Got my.
No, I think it's around the side of Gray. I don't think it was through the back.
That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's not clear down the side. He's still behind in some way. But I thought Gray made a meal of the contact and has won the free kick. I thought the challenge itself was okay.
Yeah, I think at worst it was a clash of knees, but I think that's good defending. A free kick given, and long it goes. Jones clears it away. Right, so back towards the Charlton penalty area. Good header from Coventry as it falls for Clark to clear for the Addicts. Up towards Dykes. Header from Solis, which falls nicely for Doherty. Now Bell skips beyond Vicente, brings him down. Charlton free kick. Coventry takes to Bell. Inside to Chambers. Back to Doherty. Doherty out to left to Campbell. Slightly heavy touch from Campbell. Invites a bit of pressure and goes back to Bell. All the way back to Mannion, and Birmingham will look to press the Charlton goalkeeper. Still no Thomas Kaminski. As Mannion forward towards Doherty. Good header inside to Campbell. Campbell controls, looks to go on a run. Doherty just takes up the space Campbell's going to drift into, so cuts back. Might have been pushed by Vicente, but play will continue as Bell's got the ball and looks to switch the play. Clark the target. Clark will jump. Good header from Harry Clark up towards Dykes, who controls it. Back down to Carey, first time strike. Gets the ball back, Sonny Carey. Goes on the outside, now goes for goal, and might have taken a deflection en route, but also comfortably gathers in the end. Charlton certainly the better of the two sides at the moment.
Yeah, well, they're creating, aren't they? And they're testing the opposition goalkeeper.
Allsop though with that distribution straight out to Damari Gray. Cuts inside onto his right foot, thinks about a shot, goes for it, deflects off Ramsey. Birmingham corner.
Yeah, but that's, I did say, I think he's their live wire and their out ball, and they can turn a shot against very, very quickly with Allsop's distribution into an attack for themselves, because Gray's pace is genuine. And once he gets possession, ball at his feet, he drives defenders backwards, and he's good at changing direction, manipulating the ball left to right, gets the shot away, which is blocked. But yeah, I think it's a good spell for the home side. Last 15 minutes, I think we've got on top of the game. We are going to have moments though like that from on the counter.
Now the left back for Birmingham has come across to take the corner. Just be wary of Damari Gray's positioning just towards the edge of the penalty area. Sonny Carey looks like a bit of a marker for him, but 10 yards of distance between the two. Charlton with Chambers preventing a potential short corner. Campbell's just inside of that for Charlton. The referee just wants a word with Clara and Ramsey. Seems like Ramsey's it's been popular with the referee so far. Carey's gone into the penalty area, which leaves Damari Gray even more free. I'll just be cautious of that if I'm Charlton. As Wagner prepares to take the corner. Swings it in with pace. Decent looking delivery towards the back post. Is headed back inside and Solis can't keep it in. But it was Ducks at the far post. It actually hit the head of Amari Bell and back across. Solis with the final contact, but it wasn't clean from the Charlton perspective.
No. I think Manu got caught being pinned by their guy. I think that was Panzo, wasn't it? And just late on the arrival.
Dykes with the wayward ball, comes to Gray, goes on a run. Damari Gray out to left to Pack, inside to Gray again. Decent looking delivery, well cleared by Lloyd Jones. Doherty's got time to bring it away for Charlton. Looks for the ball forward towards Campbell. Ball slips out of his goal. Waits for the ball to bounce and then half volleys it over the head of Campbell. That's another sign of the goalkeeper's capabilities with his feet. Birmingham will play on. Suddenly the momentum slightly shifted as Gray brings the ball inside. Solis, who was sent off recently down the road at Millwall, back from suspension. Wagner inside to Pack, who looks towards Gray. Back to Wagner. Inside is Solis. Solis forward to Gray. They exchange passes, and now Gray again looks for the first time ball backwards. Panzo in the centre circle. Out to the right is Clara. Solis wants it inside in space. Solis looks forward. Goes across the Pack instead. Wayward ball out left to Wagner and goes out of play for a Charlton throw. Alex trying to stay patient behind the ball.
Are we calling him Pack, not Song Hugh?
Commonly known as Pack. It's like Song Hyun Min.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Well, heads up would be nice. You just naturally say the surname on the team sheet, don't you? If you don't follow football up and down the country every minute of every day.
See what we have to cope with here on Charlton TV.
That's Waller's fault.
Jones with a header forward. Clara likewise for Birmingham, and now Doherty back to Chambers.
It's actually searching for the player called Pack. I was going, who's he on about?
Chambers gets the ball back. Forward it goes towards Campbell. Awata's there. Voice the challenge of Doherty. And Vicente wins the ball back for Birmingham on the attack. Awata, the right-hand side, ball inside, well cut out by Coventry, but back it comes as Vicente will look to take over. Cuts inside Chambers. Solis. Ball inside to Pack, letting lot to do, and Charlton force Birmingham backwards. Still the visitors in possession. Awata down the line. Solis can't keep the ball in play, and Charlton recovered well and have the throw.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of those ones where I think Nathan Jones will be not too unhappy with the first 31 minutes of this game. I think we've had a 10-15 minute spell there where we were certainly on top, driving Birmingham back, creating one or two opportunities. The game's opened up a little bit. That initial press from Birmingham has subsided for sure, but it's hit a bit of an even stage, hasn't it? Last five, Birmingham have come back into it, and there's not a lot of give.
Solis the ball forward. Vicente got a header to it, trying to clear. Birmingham still with the pressure, but it falls nicely for Will Mannion to gather and rolls it out immediately to Harry Clark. Cuts inside and finds Sonny Carey, who's deep for Charlton, looks to turn. Out to left to Amari Bell. 32 minutes played, still 0-0 here at the Valley. Charlton shooting towards the covered end in this first half. It's Doherty back to Bell, inside to Coventry. Now Jones, ball forward, looks for Clark. Clark gets a touch ahead of Wagner, and Wagner just got a touch himself as Charlton looks to break, comes out to Carey. Carey whip ball in, looking towards Campbell. Ball still up in the air, Doherty with a header, but also Kangama just lacked a bit of power.
That is a delivery. Sonny Carey, very, very difficult to defend. Nice to see Campbell in, like I asked, you know, coming off that left side, put the pressure on, but that was a wonderful bit of defending.
Charlton win the ball back in midfield, and back it comes with Lloyd Jones, inside to Coventry. Carey out to the right-hand side, in space, Sonny Carey. Will he line up another delivery, instead cuts back. There's Ramsey. Coventry now. Comes to Jones. Find Ramsey in space, man. And keen to get bodies back and reshape.
I think that's a result of 6 goals conceded in 2 games, because they've gone into this really low block a couple of times when Charlton have had sustained periods of possession, kept the ball 5, 6, 7 passes. They just retreat into this, back 4 across the 18-yard line, midfield 4 not too far in front of that. And I do think that's a consequence of conceding 6 in the last 2 games.
And Lyndon Dykes has won another foul off Panzo. This time a push in the back, right in front of the referee. The ball is central in the Birmingham half, so probably had a shooting range for Sonny Carey. And he is across it, so Charlton will send bodies up from the back. And Jones, Ramsey and Clark. No Collins St-Chenje today for Charlton, missing through a hamstring injury, we believe. And Reece Burke as well, who came off last weekend against Wrexham. Carey takes it short to Bell. Bell with the ball into the penalty area. Ramsey the target, it's over his head, but Jones will look to go across to keep it in. Can't do so, he's offside anyway.
I'm not sure about that.
There was no contact on the header from Ramsey and Wagner, so it would be from the original ball in from Bell, which might have been the right decision. Hard to see from the replay. Birmingham have the free kick, but they've got to be close by their corner flag. I'm not sure he was from the original kick, but hey, it's a Birmingham free kick, and we've played 35 minutes, still 0-0, with Charlton probably edging the game in terms of opportunities. Certainly the best of which fell to Clark, whose deflected effort went wide. Iwata now picks up the ball down the line, looking for Vicente. He's been lively on the right-hand side for Birmingham. Ball in the box comes off from Ari Bell, and the visitors will have the corner.
Yeah, they have fleeting moments, don't they? They're sort of comfortable having sort of 4 or 5 minutes deep in their own half, but they do turn that defensive shape into an attacking situation really quickly. They've got pace down the right and pace down the left. And it's normally the balls in wide areas down the sides that get them, in terms of from that defensive shape, allowing that back line to get up the halfway line and keep the pressure on. It's because of those 2 wide players. They drive well, they drive forward well with the ball.
Wagner to take the corner again. Dux is at the far post, being marked by Amari Bell. Most of the other bodies are inside the 6-yard box at present. As Wagner floats one in, Mannion goes to claim, and it's a good catch as well by the Charlton goalkeeper, who looks to roll it out immediately towards Tyrese Campbell. It's a good throw, and Campbell looks to pick up the ball, packed as well to come across and poke it away.
Yeah, but I quite like that. I think it's really a decent run from Campbell on a diagonal from the edge of the box, and I think it's the right thing to do. Mannion's made a really good claim. He came early, bullied his way to win that ball, and I think that relieves the pressure. If you've got a chance to release, go, because it just gets our back line up. We can now play in the Birmingham half, as opposed to you take your time, everybody walks out. Quite like the way we've gone from that defensive transition into an attacking transition, just because our goalkeeper threw it out nice and alert.
Carey with the throw. Jones gets something to it. It's poked away by Brisk and cleared further up pitch, but it comes to Bell. Goes across to Carey. Drills the ball towards the edge of the penalty area. It comes the way of Chambers at the far post. Chambers controls. Challenge from Vicente. Chambers keeps the ball in play. Trying to work the ball back to Coventry, and has done so. Coventry, right-footed ball in. Decent one. Good header away by Clara. Ball deflects out, and Bell will pick it up for Charlton at the back. Coventry now. Birmingham slow to push out. Coventry looks to switch the play over towards Ramsey. Change comes in from Wagner, which is enough to put Ramsey off, but Clark keeps the ball in play but can't keep possession, but Birmingham will have the throw.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game of promising moments, isn't it? Without actually getting a real big opportunity. Great balls into great areas that are ever defended well. Well, the ball flashes across the goal mouth, but there's been nothing absolute concrete that you go, we should be in front.
Taking his time with the throw, gets it back from Pack and clears it away. Bell control on the halfway line, and in the end just pokes it away from Prisk. Without that back, he'd have just cleared it forward. Birmingham had the throw, which Gray will take. Taking their time, Birmingham, from dead ball situations, if you want to call them that. There's Panzo back to Allsop. Panzo again. Forward towards Prisk. Oh, good ball back to Panzo. Dykes will give chase as with Allsop. Long clearance forward towards Gray. Good challenge comes in from Ramsey. That was an important one because Birmingham had bodies forward there. Coventry back to Bell. Now Jones. Out to the right to Clark. To go back inside to Ramsey. It's wayward, and Ramsey facing his own goal. Find Mannion, who clears it forward, up in the air. Dykes underneath this, and it's beyond him. Headed forward again from Birmingham defence. Coventry gets something to it. Now Carey fighting for the ball, comes away with it for Charlton and turns. Out to the right to Clark. Clark held up, so goes back to Ramsey, and Charlton keep possession. And Charlton coming into this game might have expected the visitors to keep the majority of the ball, but Charlton at the moment are leading the possession stats. As Bell, ball forward looking for Campbell. It's a brilliant ball. Campbell, he just waited for the ball to bounce and just held up slightly. Vicente was able to clear it away.
Yeah, but that's 2 or 3 occasions that you can work off the shoulder of Vicente. If you get Iwata inside picking up and the channel's open, Vicente doesn't see the run early enough and you can get in behind him. That ball just was a fraction short.
Carey throws the ball back to Bell. Lays it off for Sonny Carey. Lofted ball in the penalty here. It's high. It's up in the air. Jones jumps for it and hits his hand, and he was offside anyway. It's a combination of potential free kicks there for Birmingham.
Yeah, and I do think, having looked at the replay, he just drifted off the shoulder early to try and get that advantage. You know, I say about don't stand still, don't allow a defender to get physical with you. Jones has tried to peel off the far shoulder, give himself a little bit of manoeuvrability in terms of room to attack again, and he just drifted off into an offside position.
Allsop with the free kick. Jones with a free header towards Clark. Heads it back inside towards the centre circle. Campbell does well to flick it down to Doherty. Doherty, that's a good ball out to Dykes. Thinks about a strike. Dykes has been forced wide. Ragnar. Ball's back with Carey. Inside to Clark. Ball to Carey's wayward. Just stops the attack momentarily. Carey again. Inside to Coventry as Birmingham push up. Charlton in possession. Jones, lovely through ball, finds Chambers, who can turn. Out to left-hand side is Tyrese Campbell. Campbell taking on Iwata, goes on the outside. Iwata's strong, and that's brilliant defending from Iwata. Matched him physically.
Yeah, it's good all round actually, because I think Campbell was going to do the old fake to go down the line and cut inside, but Vicente just got to cut across, got in his eye line, showed Campbell that was blocked, and that forced him down the line. And as soon as he took it, Iwata was across his line. Like you say, Greg, used his upper body very, very well there. Good bit of defending.
And with the goal kick, Jones heads it away. Carey forward towards Dykes, lays it off for Sonny Carey again. It's down the line to Campbell, who's offside.
Now, for me, that shouldn't be offside. Again, I think we've done ever so well to pick up the pieces. It's a header into midfield, flicked on, and we get hold of the ball and feed it into midfield. And I think Campbell can work a little bit harder there to stay onside. Because he was in terms of the position he took up, drifting off the shoulder, it's perfect. But you're just half a yard short of getting the right side to curve your run to stay onside. He was never really onside. Just got to work a little bit harder. Should never have been caught offside there.
The referee just having a little word with Tyrese Campbell, maybe a warning after he dragged his shot wide after the initial free kick was given, perhaps, but Nothing more as Birmingham had the free kick. Allsop takes long forward towards Clara. He's gone forward for this and was headed away. Clara stayed forward as Birmingham pick up the ball. Wagner on the left-hand side. Forward towards Ducks, who lays it off for Panzo. It's Birmingham conceded possession as Wagner look for a back heel. Now Dykes brings the ball forward. Solis. Sorry, it's Damari Gray getting back, and then challenge comes in from Wagner, and the move has stalled. And Clark showing good persistence and dragging Birmingham back. Ball out to Wagner. This time it's Carey in with the challenge, but inside it comes to Pack, and Charlton a little bit outnumbered here as Pack looks at the through ball towards. It's Prisk, and this time he's offside.
This is tight. Our back line, I tell you what, it's done very, very well today. We've contained Birmingham as a team very, very well in this first 45 minutes, but that back line got itself in a bit of a pickle. It is off, but it's not by intent, I don't think.
No, I think Amari Bell was coming back.
Yeah, they've got away with one there.
Yeah, he was offside, but as you say, it wasn't deliberate from Charlton.
I don't think so. It was a mismatch. It was a line that wasn't together.
Well, Bell initially played offside. Oh, it was actually Kane Ramsey who might have been keeping him on, in fact. As Charlton take the free kick, ball bounces down and headed back to Owatu, clears it away. Charlton will have the throw.
I never like offsides attempted that high up the pitch. You get it wrong, you're not recovering. Players bursting through, 30 yards to run into, you're not going to recover. And it would have been a shot. Well, it's immaterial, but we've defended this half particularly well. We've restricted Birmingham to precious little.
Dykes with the ball forward. It's awkward for Panzo. Heads it away. It's Charlton will settle for a long throw. We've got one added minute at the end of this first half. Still 0-0. Half that Charlton have certainly been the better side. Can they finish the half with a goal here? Sonny Carey to take. Birmingham with everybody back inside the penalty area. Certainly a bit of a clean sheet mentality they've come in with today. Carey's throw towards the near post. Dykes will get to it, stands on the ball, and the ball deflects out to Carey. Looks the 1-2 with Coventry. Charlton won a free kick as Carey goes to the ground, but no free kick is given. A little bit of a mess that, really.
Yeah, and it wasn't a great deal in it. I think the worst challenge was the one on Jones, to be honest. That needs looking at again.
Yeah, and I know things could look bad when they slow down.
I think yellow was the right decision, but it was not a good look. It was late. It was leaning into a guy that had played the ball forward. That's the one decision that that might be under review, but the rest, I think the referee's done okay.
Well, Charlton are going to have time to take this throw because Birmingham's throw just went straight out of play. The referee's going to allow Sonny Carey to line up a long one here. Throws it into the penalty area. Comes off Ramsey and Birmingham can clear, and there's the half-time whistle after 45 minutes here at the Valley. Charlton 0, Birmingham 0, but the Addicts have had the best chances in the game, or certainly the best chance, should I say. Harry Clark with it. And Tyrese Campbell's low cross towards the far post, and Clark's shot was blocked and deflected wide from close range. Charlton have had a lot of nearly moments without causing too many issues for Ryan Allsop. Whereas down the other end, only a Damari Gray long-range effort, which deflected wide, has been the only thing of real note for Birmingham in the half that Charlton will be happy with. Brownie just lacking a goal for it.
Yeah, we've had a couple of good moments. I thought when Dykes went through, he picked the wrong decision with the right foot shot. I think it was a guy that has pace. He goes through and he runs a lot further with that ball, but he hasn't, and therefore the keeper was off his line and he elected to shoot. The right foot shot was the wrong decision. Clark's shot is the big moment for me. I think when it comes across from Campbell and it goes to Clark, that touch, I'm not sure he can hit it first time because of the pace it's coming across at. But by taking a touch, that allows the Birmingham defenders to get closer and it allows them to make the block. And I think that's the one big moment of the first half that belongs to Charlton that could have led to a goal. The rest has been almosts, haven't they? Great ball, didn't get on the end of it. Corner around the back for Coventry, little flick off the keeper's glove, couldn't get on the end of it. But I think Nathan Jones will be pleased with that. It's just lacking that goal, isn't it? I think Birmingham, though, if you look at their team, I think they've got options on the bench that could make them a little bit stronger, make them a little bit sharper in the forward areas. They'll be pleased that they haven't conceded a goal, and they'll come out and I think they'll be a slightly different animal in the second half. But yeah, I mean, it's quite a tight game, quite an even game, which I think Charlton have shaded.
Well, as Brownie's going to tuck into some half-time goodies, we'll bring you 2 videos here on Charlton TV at half-time. Charlton's under-21s had some decent form before falling to a 2-1 defeat to Bristol City's under-21s on Tuesday afternoon. We'll look at the highlights of that, and then we'll hear from Chris Locke, the under-21s coach, who spoke to Charlton TV after the game to discuss the side's loss and how he and his team work to develop the next talent coming through at Sparrows Lane.
Always a favourite for that. Yeboah with a flick on. Kaczynski has to try and get there, and Langaretabo just dallied slightly, and it's allowed Bristol City to get in, and the shot. Trying to switch it across to where Valentine is, and it's a good ball as well. Valentine brings it down. Derek in front of him. Still Valentine. Lifts the ball across. Headed clear, but it'll drop to Locke. Can he get his shot away? Locke, he does. Oh, that's a scream. It's in the air. It's a good header from Herbert. Dixon does well to get their play on, says the referee. Dixon to Herbert. Herbert looking to take his man on, gets into the box. And then Davis takes him out, and that may well be a penalty, and it is. Steps forward. Strikes it. Firm strike to the keeper's right. Hewlett. Switch this across. Took a risk, but he managed to get it to Hooper. As Burnham closes him down. Ball forward. Up to Hogg. Gets it out to Yeboah. Yeboah looking to get a shot away. Does so, and it's a good finish. Give him credit for that. Hogg. Cut out by Hooper. Bristol City have it back. Ball forward. Up towards Griffin. Ball forward, there's a header up in there, but Kaczynski is going to drop to Yeboah. Yeboah's going to turn and shoot and score. Second.
Hey Chris, a bit of a disappointing result there against Bristol City, losing out late. What are your thoughts after that?
Yeah, I think the instant reaction is always like a bit gutted. You go 1-0 up, you want to see the boys see the game out. So a lot to learn. I think they learn more from the losses than the wins at this age. But they've also got to recognise that as they want to make that transition into the first team, that, you know, being 1-0 up and then losing a game 2-1, that's not really acceptable.
You say they learn a little bit more from losing those games in that manner, but off the back of 2 really good results over the last week, is that also a case of that coming down to earth a little bit and learning that lesson?
Yeah, I think that I can stand here as a coach, and you always, like, everyone wants to win, don't they? Like, I'm a winner, Souls is a winner, we all want to win every game we can play. That grounding moment in terms of when you do lose a game, and you lose a game like that that's really close, it just lets the players know that they're not quite there yet.
And a few changes as well today. Again, was that just utilising the players you got at your disposal, obviously with the game on Friday and the quick turnaround to the Tuesday?
Yeah, I think you know, within the flip side of the result and the performance and wanting to win and 3 points, there's also the side of we are still developing young players that we want to get into our first team. So there's no point me every week just saying I'm going to play this strong team, this is going to be the strongest team that we can play in X, Y and Z. Because if that was the case, we'd have Micah in the team, we'd have Ibby in the team, we'd have Alan, everyone else would be playing as well. So the reality is that the conveyor belt of talent that we have at the football club is reliant upon us making sure that we're giving all of the players the opportunities to play football. And again, today's another example of that. We're finishing the game with, I think it was 4 or 5 scholars on the pitch, starting with 2 scholars on the pitch as well. So take the result away, that's the positives.
I was going to say that is a positive because the sheer amount of players we had out on loan playing at a good level and getting those experiences showed that actually things are working really well here.
Yeah, there's nothing to worry about here. I think that, you know, we've got these current crop that have coming through that, you know, fans are starting to get the names of, your Micahs, your Ibis, your Alan Mwambas, Keenan Goffs, all of those names are starting to come through. But there's a good crop of names that are going to be big in the future that are still to come.
And on to Cardiff next week. Perfect opportunity to bounce back from that.
Yeah, that's it. That's what they got to do. I mean, when we talk about trying to breed a winning mentality, the reality is that once you get knocked down, you get yourself back up again. So next week against Cardiff, it's an opportunity for pretty much everyone in that changing room to make sure that this don't happen again and go away and get a result.
Well, welcome back to Charlton TV. We're at half-time here. It's Charlton 0, Birmingham 0. We're fully stocked and ready to go for a second half that hopefully will be a bit like the first in terms of Charlton being a better side, just hopefully with an annexed goal. But we're delighted as always to have a little bit later Terry Smith taking over duties. But first things first, the man who's certainly been well stocked at half-time.
I was just about to say, I thought you were going to say we're absolutely delighted to have Katie here bringing the cookies again.
I'm not sure. If it wasn't for the food, I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, like a Yorkie. Remember that advert? I'm not allowed to say that anymore.
But Brownie, great to have you as always, my friend. And yeah, it's a half that hopefully now that Charlton will get that goal and can go on, because results elsewhere at the moment are a little bit iffy, shall we say? Plenty of football to go.
Yeah, and I'm you know, you've got to take care of business yourself. And I don't panic 1 week because results have gone against us, and I don't get too excited if results go for us. We have to take care of business ourselves. I think there's enough teams in the running for us to pick up the points required. If we actually get out of games what we deserve, and I think we've been the better side in that first 45 minutes. If we can continue that, our biggest issue, it looks like, is finding a way to unlock. You know, there comes a point where you just need someone to arrive at the right time, a little bit of composure, and you'll get out of the game what you need. But I don't think you'll. I might be wrong here, but I think Birmingham are going to get stronger. You've got one or two players on the bench of influence, and I think they'll go to them sooner rather than later. I do think they come here though off the back of 2 defeats. They haven't lost 3 on the trot, I don't think, under this manager. So he'll be keen to avoid that, and I think that's why you've seen him go into that real defensive shape when they've found it difficult to press the ball quickly and win it back quickly. But look, it's finally balanced. I do think Charlton have had the better of the first 45 minutes, but I'm not confident calling this one either way. I think there's better to come from Birmingham. I hope they don't get on top of the game, and I hope we continue to play like we did in the first half and find a way to score a goal. But I've just got a funny feeling Birmingham will improve at some point and put us under a little bit of pressure.
18,541 in attendance here at the Valley, 3,000 of which are Birmingham City fans. Birmingham got kick-off, but they're shooting towards the covered end. This second half, Charlton towards Jimmy C's stand, and we are back underway here on Charlton TV, sponsored by NordVPN. Myself, Greg Stubbley, Steve Brown, and Terry Smith a little bit later. As one ball forward, headed away by Lloyd Jones. Ball breaks down to Pack, goes left to Gray. And further back it goes to Panzo. No changes for either side at half-time. As Brownie's alluded to, Birmingham do have a lot of options on the bench to call upon. As the ball goes long, it's awkward for Bell, who gets the ball down and might have been fouled in the process. The referee agrees, and Charlton will have the free kick. But yeah, Stansfield, Patrick Roberts, Ibrahim Osman, who's on loan from Brighton. Yeah, I mean, 3 options for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Stansfield's the top scorer, 9 goals, 6 assists, you know, and obviously I don't know the reason why he's not in the side, but that's certainly an addition that will give them a lift if he's to come on.
Header forward by Clark, almost dropped towards Campbell. It was Clark's header initially that was cleared away, and then Clark followed it up with another header, but Campbell was just caught on his heels and ball falls Allsop. Oh, and Prisk has just jumped into Jones again. And Prisk is on a yellow card, and Lloyd Jones is just reminding the referee of that fact.
I'd get him off. I really would. Do you know what? The first header that Jones made in the second 45, he's led with his arm and caught him. And Jones stayed on his feet, and then he's just done that. If I was there, guys, watching that, I'd go, look, we can't take the risk. If we go down to 10, we're up against it. I'm not sure if it was the other way around, I'd be saying to Nathan Jones, if that's Dykes, listen, I think you've got to pull him off. Just protect him. They're at it. They're in good conversation now. I love that side of it, I've got to be honest with you. If I was Jones, I'd be absolutely winding him up.
Charlton go along with the free kick, headed away by Panzo. Clear it forward. Jones heads it backwards, and that one was a fair challenge, but Prisk again's not afraid of potentially making that challenge. And as we say, Birmingham do have forward options on the bench, so I wouldn't be surprised if you will see a change early in the second half.
Well, that, and they haven't conjured up a shot on target yet. The only real opportunity they've had was Gray, and it was blocked out for a corner. Other than that, they've provided precious little as an attacking side.
Bell gets to the ball first. Vicente falls over. Referees having none of it. And Coventry are judged to have fouled Clara. Birmingham trying to win free kicks, and Vicente, unsurprisingly, is back on his feet and is okay. Amari Bell, I don't think even made contact with Vicente. Birmingham wanted to get a move on with the free kick. Referee's not allowing them to do so. But you can tell this is a side, Birmingham City side, that are out of confidence. This is Chris Davis' 100th game in charge. His first loss was here last season. Yeah, ironically, his first win was also here in the Cup, but they obviously got promoted, and I think the expectation was they were going to compete towards the playoffs this season. They've spent money, but as we know, Championship's a hard league. It might take a little bit longer to get to that level that they're hoping to reach eventually, which is, of course, the Premier League. There's also with the free kick. Dykes heads it away. Solis control, and Carey applies good pressure as Pat goes back to Allsop, who will line up again for potential ball forward. Looking for Gray. Ramsey this time heads it away. Magna picks it up. Inside to Solis. Now Gray, good challenge comes in from Coventry, and Doherty now for Charlton. Ball to the left-hand side, looks for Campbell as well, intercepted by Owatu, who's having a good game. That right back for Birmingham. Look to attack now. Pack on the right-hand side. Ball in towards the far post. And Clark has a brilliant header away. Magna closing him down, and Carey completes the clearance up towards Dykes. Panzo. And Dykes again engaged in battle.
Yeah, he was just blocking off Dykes' run because he knew he had the cover from Clara. There's nothing in that really. I get why Dykes is frustrated, but that's just it's good defending, using your body to block the run. There's a very good header from Clark moments before as well. Defences are on top.
Solis inside to Panzo. Out to left to Magna. Side to Solis again. Magna finds Pack, and Solis under pressure from Coventry. Let's go back to Panzo. Charlton done well to force Birmingham all the way back to Allsop. Again lines up for a long ball forward. Jones trying to get there, instead ducks this time with the challenge, not looking at the ball. Lloyd Jones has had about 4 of those come his way.
Not sure what the game plan is there. I mean, I think they're going to mix their game up. I think the one thing that might trouble Jones is if you just, other than that aerial bombardment, which he is brilliant at defending. I don't see many getting on top of him in that department. It's the ones where you can just push into his body and come short and receive defeat probably cause him the most issues, and they don't even look like they're trying to do that.
Ramsey controls it well out the sky, forward towards Carey. Carey up towards Dykes, trying to give it back to Carey, but challenge came in, and Birmingham now reducts the ball forward. But
yeah, I'm disappointed in them as an attacking side. I have to be honest here. That there, and like, what is that? You think about the money that's been filtered through. I hate talking about money when you've got it to spend because it brings its own pressure.
Bell with the ball forward, but it's wayward with Dykes. Charlton a little bit slow starting the second half in possession. Ball up towards Gray. Ramsey, good challenge comes in, and Charlton win the ball back as Doherty was pulled back by Tamari Gray. But play will continue as Chambers ball forward, and the referee was going to blow for a Charlton free kick when Doherty was being pulled back. The referee played on. I don't think there was much of an advantage there in truth, but Birmingham taking the throw, and ball from Panzo's given away straight to Ramsey. Now Clark, ball down the line looking for Carey. Panzo comes across, that's good defending. It's forced wide. His clearance goes out of play. Charlton with the throw.
He's done a great job, Ramsey, I have to say, on Gray. The amount of that last action there, getting tight, winning the ball down the side. By and large, he's been all over him physically, hasn't he? It's not allowed him to get into the game too much. And he is a bright player.
Harry Clark to take the throw. Birmingham are going to make a change shortly. Stansfield.
Not surprised.
Man coming on. I think I just saw Prisk's number light up on the fourth official's board. As throw comes in, Clara heads it away. Helped on by Gray. As Clark goes to retrieve the ball on the halfway line. Looks long diagonal ball towards Jones. Birmingham headed away only as far as Coventry. Coventry with the ball forward, or just too much on it as Ramsey stayed forward. Allsop gathers, rolls it out straight away to Iwata.
I think that's poor from Allsop. He's got absolutely nothing on. Iwata can't go forward. There's no one up front. Midfield's congested. He can only go backwards.
Wagner with the ball forward. Coventry slide in and wins the ball, but it deflects away of Wagner again. Now Gray. Good challenge comes in from Clark. Now Ramsey keeps the ball in play. A lovely bit of skill from Kane Ramsey back to Mannion. Showing good confidence there, Ramsey. As Dykes down to Carey, heads it on to Campbell. Chance here for Charlton. Tyrese Campbell is good. Tracking back from Clara. Makes a last-ditch challenge. Good opportunity, though, for Charlton.
It's a great opportunity, and that's better from Campbell in terms of staying on side time and his run. The ball just would not settle on the ground. He took his first touch forward, hoping that would just roll along the surface, and it didn't. And when the ball's bobbling, you've got to concentrate so much to get your shot away, and you could just see Clara shutting down the distance every second, and it's a very good covering challenge from the Birmingham centre half.
Yeah, just wouldn't sit for Campbell. He had to take that touch away from Clara, who did superbly well to get back. But the Charlton do have the corner. 53 minutes played, 0-0. The referee wants a word with Solis and Dykes. As Chambers prepares to take the corner, Birmingham with everyone back inside the penalty area. Sonny Carey's just hanging around on the edge as Chambers whips it in towards the near post. He's actually flicked on up in the air. Might come the way of Dykes. Can Dykes get there first? Oh, challenge comes in from Allsop, who gathers the ball.
He's entitled to go for that. I hope everyone doesn't go mad. That ball wasn't entirely in Allsop's hands, and the centre forward is entitled to go for that.
Yeah, the referee showing common sense and recognising that fact, but just for a second it looked like Lyndon Dykes was going to get a goal-scoring opportunity here. Wasn't well dealt with initially, and it broke out, and yeah, Dykes almost looked like he pulled away at the last second and immediately apologised, and a couple of Birmingham City players trying to make the most of that. There's Allsop with the free kick. Headed away by Jones as Prisk has gone down holding his face. I don't think there was any contact there whatsoever.
Right, even if there is, and I think there is, right, it's unintentional. It's the motion of you winning a header.
Now he's saying he doesn't need the attention of the physios because he realises he has to go off the field. He's going to be replaced in a minute anyway.
Yeah, might as well stay off sunshine.
Again, he leads with his arm, Prisk, doesn't he? He doesn't make any contact this time with Jones, but for a man on a yellow card, it's a little bit clumsy.
Yeah, and it's Lloyd Jones hasn't thrown an elbow out. He's got his arms up to win the header, and you know, maybe I'm giving it an old bias one, but yeah, he's had a tough day at the office. If I'm honest with you, as Prisk, and he's falling around up there, but not really impacting the back line. He's not holding it up. He's not really winning many headers, and I think Stansfield, with a bit of sharp movement, a little bit more intelligence, will cause our back line a little bit more troubles than Prisk is. But
there's going to be a double change for Birmingham. Prisk is going to be one of those players to make way for Jay Stansfield. He's certainly capable of just that little bit of winding up the back line and clever movement. Stansfield will be introduced, as will Ibrahim Osman, who replaces Damari Gray. Osman full of pace.
Yeah, see, I would have given Gray. I would have swapped the wingers over for 10 minutes just to see if they could have caused the defenders any more trouble than they were causing the ones that are up against. Because Ramsey did win that battle hands down today. Very good from the Charlton right-sided centre half. Was all over Gray physically. Just that one opportunity. It's hard to keep him sort of pinned down for as long as he has, but he did a great job.
Panzo across to Wagner, just lost his footing, did well to regather that, with the ball forward to Dux, who concedes possession. Bell looks forward, but good challenge came in from Vicente. Stands for the ball forward, hits Greg Doherty in the face, and Jones will pick it up. Out left is Chambers, and Chambers looks forward, and not a lot there, so cuts back inside to Coventry again. To the right to Ramsey. Ramsey steps inside Osman and looks to switch the play. And it's a lovely looking pass. What a ball that is to Chambers. Inside to Doherty. It's back to Bell. A few groans as Charlton were in a good position there, but no real movement ahead. It's Jones forward towards Dykes. Lays it off for Coventry. Asking Bell to push forward from left side centre half, and he has done so. Mari Bell inside the Birmingham City half, inside to Campbell. Lays it off for Coventry. Birmingham do well to force the addicts back. Jones lets the ball run. Goes back to Mannion. Mannion looks to switch the play, but it gets his kick all wrong, and it falls to Vicente. Ball forward looking for Stansfield. It's beyond him, and Ramsey as well to cut off Osman. As Clark will let the ball run for a Charlton throw. 58 minutes played, still 0-0 here at the Valley.
Yeah, not a great deal happening, to be brutally honest. It's a very even contest. Just that one really good moment where Campbell burst through. Couldn't get that ball under control to settle to get the shot away properly. Other than that, it's very, very even.
Coventry loses flight of the ball, and Bell and Jones couldn't decide between them which player wanted to gather it. In the end, Bell just clears it out of play. Birmingham will have the throw. Which Wagner will take. Goes forward towards Osman. Controls well. Challenge comes in from Clark, and it hits Osman last. Charlton goal kick.
Yeah, I think Osman thought that was a corner. Sort of gave up on it, but again we compacted the area, got in nice and tight, physically affecting the opponent. It's kind of where the game's at. There's not any fluidity to it. No one's really dominating with possession. There's a lot of little mini battles going on.
And with the goal kick, Dykes heads it on, but Charlton conceded possession straight away. Stansfield looked inside to Ducks and well intercepted by Lloyd Jones. Really important interception from the Charlton centre half. As Charlton clear away, but that came from the Addicts' goal kick. Charlton tried to be a little bit cute and clever, but defensively we were out of shape. Now Birmingham on the attack. Left-hand side is Osman. Clark for company, cuts inside. It's for Pack. Cross to Iwata. He's capable of a shot from range. Instead we'll look for the cross towards Ducks. Good header away by Ramsey, and then Carey clears forward. Ducks trying to get there for Charlton, but Panzo applied enough pressure that was fair according to the referee, and play will continue as Wagner ball forwards. It's on Ramsey, heads it down. Clark's ball inside, and Coventry looks for Bell. Bell knocks himself into a cul-de-sac. Doherty first to it, does well to guide it out left to Chambers. Chambers forward towards Dykes. Again, Panzo just bundles into the striker. He waited for the contact to come in. He wants to take the free kick quickly, and
that rule's gone. Used to be
Solis.
Yeah, it used to be a booking for not backing up. It's not anymore. But I think you underestimate how important those little free kicks Dykes win is, because the game was just starting to go away from us there. Stansfield won't be marked by Jones. That's an immediate difference. He's in pockets of space, doesn't just stand next to him, inviting an aerial battle. And when he got that turnover, the ball through to Dux, that was intercepted by Jones. It was a massive interception. That is a 1v1 penalty spot out. Major trouble. I thought it was a super bit of defending from Jones.
Trying to take the free kick, but it's wayward of Clark. An easy header for Wagner, and now Osman will look to express his pace. Tyrese Campbell coming back for Charlton. He's done well to keep up with Osman Campbell. And Osman will still cross it in. It's awkward. Mannion gets a touch to it. And another Birmingham player was there. Chambers does well to collect inside to Doherty. Stansfield behind him does well just to wait momentarily, and then the ball down the line. It's a brilliant one from Doherty. Gives Dykes something to chase as Panzo goes back to his goalkeeper, who calmly finds Wagner on the left-hand side. But Charlton just started to tire here.
Yeah, game stretch, isn't it? You've got Tyrese Campbell running 70 yards back, and we haven't got that back line up from that long ball forward, and we're camped in for a little bit.
Pack inside to Iwata. Now Solis, there's plenty of space here for Birmingham on the left-hand side. Osman picks it up. Osman down the line to Wagner. Good challenge comes in from Clark.
Yeah, he read that nice and early, didn't he? As soon as that ball left Osman's feet, Clark was off. Was always favourite to win that one. Excellent little bit of anticipation. Good to see Tyrese Campbell working back like that as well.
Ducks chest the ball down to Wagner. Back it comes to Solis. Inside to Clara in the centre circle. Left to Panzo. Now Wagner looks for the run of Ducks. It's a good run from Ducks in the penalty area. Great control as well, but his ball inside is picked off by Jones. Forward to Doherty. Down to Ramsey. Long towards Dykes. It's over his head as Clara controls, and it's a wayward clearance that falls so nicely for Wagner.
He's got away with one there, hasn't he?
It's Panzo forward towards Osman. Challenge comes in from Ramsey, but it falls nicely for Panzo. Gives it back to Osman inside the penalty area. Osman options left or right, and Jones has to come across to deny the ball across. Osman had the near post run of Stansfield. Yeah, it wasn't a lot else. There was a couple of players coming from deep, but Jones with a brilliant bit of defending. Not for the first time this afternoon, Birmingham corner.
Yeah, he got his angles perfectly well timed as well in terms of how close he got to the substitute Osman. Touch of fortune and how he got there as well. Good challenge from Ramsey, ricocheted into the path of the Birmingham midfielder who played Osman through. But excellent timing from Jones, stayed on his feet. The only option really Osman had was to cut back onto his right, but he was, even then I think Jones was in close enough proximity to intercept.
Pack to take the corner. Swings it in towards the far post, and then the Dykes are headed away, but it falls straight for Vicente. Cuts inside, left-footed strike, well blocked by Doherty. Goes out now to Osman. Cuts inside, ball in the box, decent looking one. Ramsey this time, good header away. Campbell trying to fight for the ball for Charlton. Vicente is to it, and Campbell did well just to poke it away, but Birmingham will have the throw.
Yeah. I'm not a massive fan of no protection on the edge of the box, I've got to be honest here, but statistically they'll tell me less goals are scored that way.
Pack thinks about a strike, goes for it, well blocked by Coventry. Panzo into Wagner, ball in the box towards the far post. Chambers defending to do, heads it away. Latter first to it, up towards Vicente. Lays it off for Latter inside to Pack. Vicente now, low ball in towards the near post. Jones clears it away towards Campbell, gets something on it, but Birmingham with the possession at the moment. Looking the side more likely as Wagner on the ball in the box. It's off the thigh of Amari Bell. Clark heads it away, but straight to Solis. Jones struggling to get out at the moment. Wagner with the ball forward, well intercepted by Sonny Carey. Clears it forward towards Dykes. Dykes looking to control, but instead it comes off his shin and falls to Solis. Inside to Oata. Thinks about a strike, Oata. Brings it forward, will go for goal, and it drags it wide. Charlton goal kick, and it should just slow things down here, the Addicts.
Well, they'll be in chatty mode inside the technical area because our midfield's dropped right in front of the back line again. So not only have they got players free in midfield to pick up passes that come back from the front line, when we go long to Dykes, their midfielders also drop in deep to pick up the seconds, which means you just can't get out. So we're momentarily pegged back alongside our 18-yard line. We've just gone a fraction too deep, and to get out of that mode you've got to start keeping possession of the ball a little bit better than we have been.
Mannion's goal kick well headed on by Dykes. Clark now for Charlton. Ball in the box is lofted in, and it's easy for Alsop to gather. Looks to clear it away quickly. Stansfield will give chase. Stansfield gets on the end of it as well. Behind Amari Bell and Jones, and Stansfield forced wide. Looks up in the box and finds Connor Coventry of all players. Who's touched to Jones. He can slide and clear it away, but Charlton caught out again. This is a nervy 10 minutes or so for the Addicts, as Birmingham still on the attack, still 0-0. There's Wagner inside to Pack. Outright to Oata. Inside to Solis. Now Wagner again. Inside to Pack. They will just slow things down, but in possession as Charlton are struggling to get a foothold in this game at the moment.
Yeah, we've gone safety in numbers, haven't we, behind the ball? That's the problem. They've got multiple players with time and space to receive because we've dropped so deep.
Osman looks for the 1-2, but Clark's there for Charlton and look to clear it away. It's done so. Pack throws the ball down to Solis, and now Panzo.
Suddenly that long ball up as well. Dykes is isolated. Yes, Campbell's up there, but you've got Panzo attacking the ball first, Clara on the cover, so it's extremely difficult for Dykes to hold anything up, and it'll be Nathan Jones and his men looking towards the substitutes at the moment, seeing how they can change and impact the game. Stansfield's made a massive difference, as has Osman on this left-hand side.
Charlton will be making changes shortly, but play continues as Coventry. The challenge on Pack. Peels away from Coventry just for the time being, now inside to Osman. Carey comes across, but Osman avoids that challenge on a run and might have been tripped by Clark. He was. Birmingham have a free kick in a dangerous position. After a word from Steve Brown, I hand you over to Terry Smith to lead commentate for the rest of the second half.
Yeah, the reaction from Sonny Carey suggests there wasn't any contact on that, but it did look like a free kick from the angle I had, but Carey was much closer than us. But yeah, Birmingham enjoying their best spell of the game, and they've got Charlton on the run a little bit. And like I said, they've gone protective, they've gone deep, the midfield's dropped a little bit deep, and suddenly we're protecting pockets and not getting tight to players, and it's a little dangerous to do that. We've got to find a way of getting the ball up to the front boys and holding up that ball, letting midfield come and join, and trying to transfer and play a little bit in Birmingham's half, because it's all them at the moment.
Cheers, Greg. It's Dukes and Wagner over this free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. It's Dukes with a shot straight down the throat of Manu. Didn't really have to move. He was looking for a quick release, but nothing immediately available. Rolls it out instead to Amari Bell. Forward at him is Chambers. Gives it back to Bell. It's, under pressure. Goes back to Mannion. Well, Jones to his right. Jones, Stansfield pursuing him out to Ramsey. Trying to make a double change here at least. Ball forward, asking Dykes to pursue it. Campbell cutting off the goalkeeper, but inside is Clara. Out to Wagner. Wagner pressured by Clark, and he's given the ball straight to Campbell. Campbell back to Carey. Now Clark again on the right. Clark looks up. Doherty in the box, but it's gone beyond him. It'll drift across to Chambers, who's made space up on that left-hand side, and then just falls over himself really as he tried to go past his man. And falls to the ground. Ball goes out of play for a goal kick, and Charlton will make the double change. It looks like the first change will be Greg Doherty coming off. Rankin Costello, the plan coming up. And also down there is Charlie Kelman.
Appreciation to number 19, Luke Chambers.
Luke Chambers, the player coming off. Potential change of shape here, unless Therese Campbell's going back to a left wing back role.
23, Charlie Kelman.
Kelman looks like, yep, it looks like Kelman's going to join Linda Dykes up top, and Therese Campbell out to the left hand side.
Well, the dice has been rolled. I thought Doc had a good game. And obviously the manager's seen something there that he needs improving or changing the dynamics out on that pitch, because the game is just slowly edging away from us.
Allsop with the goal kick. Jones with the header away. Dykes trying to keep it in, but the batter's there. Up to Stansfield. And touch back to Solis. Ball forward, looking for Stansfield. He turns Jones, and Stansfield out to the right hand side. Ball on the edge of the penalty area, drifted across too far ahead of the substitute Osman, and it'll drift away for a throw-in on this near side. The far side as you look, of course. Just momentarily there, Jones committed himself to the challenge, and it was Vicente who was fed by Stansfield, but it was his cross then that went far too far ahead of anybody in a white shirt, and away for this Charlton throw. On the right, Ramsey with it. Down the line it goes. Clark pushed out of the way by Xiong Ho. Inside to Rankin Costello. Drop to Dykes. Sends it forward, and Kelman will chase. Trying to shield the ball from Panzo. And tries to go round him as well, and Panzo just brings him down. And how many times has he done that today, by the way? He's got away with pretty much every one. I thought at some point the referee might say enough's enough. Charlton have a free kick.
He overdid that one. I mean, on the previous ones, it's been one little body check and it's worked, and it's, you know, a standard thing a centre-half will do. But that one, he basically followed him off the pitch doing it, and you can't impede for that long. Quite rightly, the referee giving Charlton this free kick.
Well, Charlton have been under pressure in certainly the last quarter of an hour. Have a free kick, and Sonny Carey on this right-hand side, right by the touchline, 25 yards out. Swing this into the penalty area. Delivery comes into low one. Oh, a flick on was attempted by Kelman, but it's cleared away. Should be another Charlton throw. It is. Carey will stay in position and look to launch this into the penalty area. Gained another almost 10 yards on it. So about 12 yards away from the corner flag. Carey sends it into the penalty area. Dykes with a flick on. Just bouncing around that penalty area. And Kelman bring it down. He gets his shot away! And scores! Charlie Kelman! Only been on the pitch a few moments, but he pounced in the penalty area when the ball was bouncing around aimlessly. The first to react, spun and struck the ball beyond Allsop, and Charlton have the lead.
Yeah, it doesn't help when you've got an attacking midfielder marking the centre forward, because that was a terrible attempt to try and make a block, but Kelman's done all he needs to do, wriggle and get yourself half a yard to get the shot away. And because of the proximity, the close proximity to the goal, that he gets that shot away. There's no reaction time for Allsop, and it hits the back of the net before the goalkeeper can move. But in terms of bravery making a block, Dukes has done us a massive favour picking up Kelman from that long throw.
Well, it was Charlton who'd been under the cosh for the last quarter of an hour or so. But the Addicts have taken the lead with Charlie Kelman here. How important can that be?
It's huge. Don't play it down. If we win this one 1-0, that is a massive result in the context of the season.
And Charlie Kelman's 5th goal of the campaign. He's back in possession now from the clearance on the left-hand side. Rankin Costello making the run ahead of him. A sliding challenge coming in from Panzo. Puts it out for a Charlton throw, and completely different complexion on this game since the goal. Charlton buzzing. The Valley buzzing. The only area that isn't is that area behind the Jimmy Seed stand.
I think the timing of the goal is crucial as well. They were just starting to turn the screw. Stansfield was looking extremely dangerous, lively, getting away from our centre halves, and that will certainly change the momentum for at least the next couple of minutes.
Carey with a long throw into the box. Dykes there, drops back to Clark. He's going to take the shot, blocked away by Stansfield. Campbell tried to get there, but he just beaten to it. Birmingham clear, but Amari Bell back for Charlton will guide it to Mannion in his just on the edge of his penalty area, and he'll send it back forward. Dykes and Jones have stayed forward as well, and they both go for this. Dykes got something on it. Clara comes away with it. Out to the left-hand side of Wagner, who sends it. Osman on his way. Ramsey across. It almost looked like he'd lost where he was going there, Ramsey, momentarily, but he's come away with the ball. Clark helped out. Ball forward, trying to send Charlie Kelman on his way. Panzo with the interception, and Wagner goes backwards. Puts Panzo in a bit of trouble, and his header goes straight to Rankin Costello. Trying to go past Solis. We've just got a foot in the way, and he's bringing it forward now. Solis. Attempted ball through the middle, cut out by Bell. But Birmingham have it back. Dukes back out to Solis. Further out to the right is Awata. Inside of him is Chung Ho. Ball back to behind everybody. Vincenti trying to get something on it. Charlton clear it, but only as far as Panzo. That's good interception by Dykes. Carey and Dykes combined. Back to Coventry. Space Coventry. Carey to his right. Charlton with only Kelman forward and Birmingham back in numbers. Just on safety. And Clark goes back to Ramsey, who in turn goes back to Mannion. Stansfield closing him down, so first time ball forward. Cut out by Clara. Out to the right-hand side is Vincenti. Good header coming in from Bell. Finds Campbell. Back to Bell. Been nowhere to go, so feeds Mannion once more. He clears it forward. Dykes the target. Can't get there. Panzo heads it forward. Jones comes to meet it. Heads it left, but Iwata's there for Birmingham. Out to Vicente. Bell in his way. Goes backwards and inside to Solis. Cuts inside Dykes, who tracked back. And across to Wagner. Inside to Solis again. Halfway inside the Charlton half. Chung Ho finds Stansfield. Comes short for it. Stansfield takes the shot. Wants a corner. Nothing doing. Goal kick to Charlton.
Yeah, frustration, because that is an ambitious attempt from that angle, from that distance, with all the Charlton players in the way and a goalkeeper to beat. That was the wrong decision from Stansfield, but he has been lively since he's come on. He has made a difference. The question would be, why didn't he start? So I think Birmingham having their own problems.
Well, maybe they thought Priss could, I don't know, bully Jones, but read that completely wrong if that was the thought. As Dykes flicks on from the goal kick. We get it again. Good header forward to Clark. It'll deflect towards Rankin Costello, but Solis just gets there first. Solis and Clark almost getting each other's way, but between them they clear it away. Jones comes to meet it with a header. Dykes can't get there. Leave it out of the way. Clark trying to get there. There's an offside flag in to bring the game to a halt. Quickly taken by Birmingham. Clark out to Iwata. Out to the right is Vicente. And Iwata went for the run, but it's a good foot in from Bell. Wins it back and then sends the ball down the line, asking Kelman to pursue it. Also to come right out of his goal. Clara just about got there before it went out of play. Rankin Costello with the header forward. Solis fixing up for Birmingham. Deep in his own half. Ball forward to Wagner. Is cut out by Clark. Can he get goal side? Can he get into the penalty area? Clark, was he taken out? The referee says no, and it looked all the world like it might have been a free kick. Solis clears. Ramsey with a foot in. Solis is back in possession. Rally crowd not happy. I'd love to know what the replay says of that. Clark had wriggled his way through to the edge of the area. Looked like he was upended. The referee said no. Panzo. Ball forward to Seung Ho. Stansfield momentarily just got the wrong side and he's in possession. They've drifted across here to Osman. Osman into the penalty area. Takes the shot. Oh. Inches away from the top corner. It'll be a Charlton goal kick. The referee is being quizzed by Clark here. As Charlton look to make another change. Gentlemen, you've seen the replay. I haven't.
We're split.
Are we?
Have a guess who I favour.
Yeah, fair enough. Lyndon Dykes is going to make way and Miles Leeburn's going to come on. He's got a real shift in Lyndon Dykes.
Yeah, he just he plays a role that even if he's not on top of the centre halves or getting advantage of the two centre halves, he wins free kicks that are vitally important to relieve pressure. You know, he brings other people into play. He never stops working, in all fairness to him, and I think the timing of the substitution is about right. But I just want to go back to that chance that Osman's just had. We should have really, we shouldn't have allowed, I know he's missed, but that shot to that far post, we left that door just ever so slightly open, and we should have really got a little bit closer and forced him out onto the left foot a bit quicker. We really want to sort of make sure that we don't give Birmingham even a sniff of getting back into this game. But Jones's cover on the inside, I think, was just about enough to put Osman off.
Referee's getting a real talking to by the Charlton players, which I quite like to see actually. Roberts in the meantime has come on for Vicente. Was there another change there? I'm just trying to see who else has played. Is Laird come on? Laird has come on for Iwata. No, Laird has come on for Solis, I beg your pardon. As we play on Leeburn with a touch forward, cleared away. Jones for Charlton will send it back forward. Coleman can't get there, and it will be Laird now on the right hand side for Birmingham coming forward. Still inside the Birmingham half. Into the feet of Iwata. Drifted inside.
Yeah, he's gone centre midfield now, Tel.
Back to Panzo, up to Osman, who turns away from Ramsey, who gets an important touch in. That could have been a Charlton throw. Not given. It's going Birmingham's way. Looked like it might have come off Osman, that, after Ramsey sliding in. Difficult one to see, I suspect, even if it was. It will be a Birmingham throw. Goes back to Panzo, under pressure from Leeburn. Let's go all the way back to Allsop. Leeburn continues the run. Allsop just about gets the ball away, and this could fall to Amari Bell. Does his header forward. Kelman not in that area. Will be picked up by Roberts. Cuts inside. Coming up to 8 minutes of normal time remaining. Ball switched across to Wagner. Inside to Seung Ho. Across to the right is Clara. just trying to keep Brownie happy.
Yeah, don't confuse me.
Ball out to the right-hand side. That's a great challenge from Coventry. And he's got the clearance deflected off. And if that might have been Roberts, it'll be a Charlton throw.
Yeah. I want to go back to that Ramsey challenge, actually, if I can. I think he's had a brilliant game. I think he took care of Gray, which isn't easy to do. I thought physically he imposed himself on the forward, saw him off, and then they brought on a guy just equally as quick and as tricky in Osman. And although Osman's had a little bit more of the game than Gray did, that was a wonderful tackle from Ramsey to see him off.
Burst thrown down the line, flicked on by Lieber, Kelman and Lieber combined. Kelman trying to keep it in, it's just deflected off his foot. Out for a Birmingham throw, quickly taken. Clara into Allsop inside his own penalty area, touches it out and then sends it long. Ramsey will challenge and get his head to it. Carey will pursue it. Shung Ho gets a touch, back to Wagner, inside to Iwata. Now Shung Ho once more. Ball inside. It's found Dutch. Back to Wagner, now Dutch again. Switches it into the middle, read by Bell. And then Coventry tried to do a clever pass through the middle, but didn't get enough on it, and there was no Charlton player there anyway. Clara picking up for Birmingham, out to Iwata. Roberts on that right-hand side, infield to Shung Ho. Runners ahead, but he goes back out to Roberts on the right, taking on Bell. Ball infield to Laird, cut out by Rankin Costello. Rankin Costello back there, tries to send it down the line, asking Leeburn to chase, but Shung Ho's there first. Gets it back from Iwata, and now Clara. Birmingham look to get back in this game. Minutes remaining is around about 6 of normal time at least. It's a good foot in from Clark, but Wagner then tries to send Osman through. Again, Ramsey across, clears it away. Birmingham City throw around about the tunnel area. Wagner with it, to the feet of Dutch. Ball into the box, cleared away by Jones. Kelman can't get there, Panzo does, but it'll drop to Coventry. Trying to send Kelman on his way over the top. Panzo retreating, as is Allsop. Can Kelman get there? He can. Panzo to company. Still Charlie Kelman on the edge of the area, just holding it up, waiting for support now. Panzo with a foot in, sends Kelman tumbling. The referee says that was perfectly legal, and Birmingham had possession back. Shung Ho, middle of the Birmingham half, bringing it forward. Carey trying to make it back, still Shung Ho finds Roberts in front of him. Roberts with too much space, but the ball in is read by Bell. Out ball to Carey, it's a heavy touch, he just gets possession and a touch in to find Kelman. Kelman with Lieber running ahead of him. Miles Lieber up against Clara. Right corner of the penalty area, no support, so he has to hold it up. Still Miles Lieber, having his shirt ripped off his back. Referee saw it, Charlton have a free kick.
Yep, really good. Had a really good opportunity. We actually got ourselves in a bit of a pickle with Costello and Coventry going to the ball. One ball beat the pair of them, and then Roberts inexplicably give that pass away and allowed us to break. But once Kelman gets to the feet, it needs something in front of him to be positive, and Lieber made a great run on a diagonal from left to right, held up the ball, drew the free kick, and that relieves pressure, allows us to pack their box.
Birmingham are going to make another change. Fujimoto coming on. Panzo, the player, going off. Attacking change for Birmingham. So we'll go with the back three for the final 4.5 minutes of normal time. Clark and Carey over this. Carey sends it long. Ramsey trying to get there. A bounce on the edge of the 6-yard box, cleared away by Laird, and Coventry just guides it back to Mannion. Roberts pursuing it, but Mannion goes left to Bell. As the ball run across him, now into the Birmingham half, sends it forward. Lieburn will jump, gets a flick on as well. Kelman gets another flick on. Carey into the box. Can he get there? Carey can't. Cleared away on as far as Kelman shoots across the face of the 6-yard box and away for a goal kick.
Yeah, and I think he makes the right decision. I think 1 or 2. Rankin Costello thinks he could have cut that back. I don't think he can. I think your drive towards the far post is the right move. But again, you know, this is where Birmingham are going to find themselves in the last 3 minutes plus add-ons, is taking a risk, trying to find a way to get an equaliser. They're going to leave themselves a little bit undone defensively.
Osman's ball forward, picked off by Ramsey. He's going to be under pressure here. Ramsey cuts inside and then fouled on halfway by Osman.
he's done well to win that.
He's been superb today.
He has been. He's been magnificent, but he should have put his foot through that.
Maybe, yeah. Should have tried to find us. That's what he should have done.
Yeah, but he's done incredibly well to get on it and then draw the free kick, so fair play. But everything in me says in the 87th minute, you've done well to read it, you've got in front of your man, put your foot through it, try and find one of your forwards.
Charlton free kick, right, pretty much on halfway. Carey with it. It's halfway between the centre circle and this right-hand side. Well, not quite halfway, but near enough. Carey taking his time over this, sending Jones forward. Jones the target, as is Leeburn. It's gone deep. Jones will rise, gets ahead to it. Leeburn tries to bring it down. Little touch back to Rankin Costello. Out to Campbell on the left. Campbell now taking on Roberts. Goes past Roberts. Can he get a cross in? Campbell, he does. Deep one. Chung Ho with a header. Clark with a header back in. Can somebody get a touch? Leeburn trying to get there. And then Carey joining the fray in the penalty area. Can't get enough purchase on the header, and it'll be picked up by Allsop, who rolls it out to Wagner. Jones trying to make it back into his defensive position. Ball forward. Oh, superb defensive work by Clark. Heads it away. It'll be a Birmingham throw, though. Minute and a half of normal time remaining. Wagner gets the ball back from the throw. Infield to Iwata. Out to the right-hand side is Fujimoto. Roberts further right. Getting into the penalty area, Roberts trying to be crowded out. Back to Iwata. Laird on the overlap on the right-hand side. Rankin Costello goes across. Roberts trying to make a run inside. Cross comes in, and Mannion, superb claim.
Yeah.
Although in fairness, there weren't too many Birmingham players.
And they're tiny.
By.
And they're tiny. Tell they're not physical. So that cross, which we forced them into, doesn't put them in a position of advantage. You know, when you got Jones, Ramsey, Bell protecting that box, I fancy us.
Chung Ho in the centre with the touch. Kelman gets the next touch back to Clark. Clark, but Ramsey behind him. He can't go back to Mannion. That way he's blocked, so he goes forward. Picked off by Wagner. Coventry does superbly well against Fujimoto. Oh, just a foul, Fujimoto. When you consider the amount of pushing that's gone on, I think that's a little generous. Charlton are going to make a double change here. Coming off will be Therese Campbell. Coming on will be Macaulay Gillespie. And also coming off will be Connor Coventry. And on in his place will be Connor Cody. As Charlton try and shore up proceedings.
Well, they've gone big. But I just think that last attack where
5 minutes of added time. Sorry, Brandon.
That's all right. I just think that last attack where Campbell got taken on the inside. I think the manager wants a little bit of protection out there. So Gillespie will go left-sided centre-half. Bell into the left wing-back position. And Cody will offer that little bit of protection aerially. But I just don't see them. They have the advantage in that area.
Allsop has come right out of his penalty area to take this free kick just about on halfway. Sends it forward. Mannion thought about coming, but Jones rises and heads it clear up to Kelman. Kelman holding the ball up superbly well.
Yeah.
And Iwata had to foul him to try and get there.
And there's
Charlton free kick.
Yeah, and there's an example of what I mean. That's a really good delivery from Allsop. There's no pace on it. He's dropped it where the keeper can't come for it. So about 15, 16 yards out. And Jones has a free header. They're just not... You know, the team's shape and the players they have out there isn't geared towards bombarding our penalty area.
Well, the referee trying to tell Mannion to hurry up, because it will be Mannion comes all the way to halfway inside the Charlton half. Very central position with his free kick. Launches it forward. Leeburn the target. Just Leeburn out of the way, but Clark has made it forward, and Clark gets on it. Inside to Leeburn. Can he get a shot away, Miles Leeburn? He does! Just dragged it wide again. Again, did you want to put his foot through it to actually just thunder it towards goal? But he tried to guide it into the far side, and it went wide.
I just wonder if it was underneath him a bit too much, so he couldn't hit that driven shot. But brilliant control from Clark. Excellent ball back. First touch from Leeburn, great. It was a driven shot to me towards Allsop's right-hand post, but he got a shot away nevertheless.
Wagner for Birmingham, held up by Leeburn. Goes back inside to Clara. Just had almost 2 minutes of the added 5. Out to Laird. Roberts back inside to Laird. Clara once more, just on halfway. Looking for options, only Laird available to his right. Fujimoto makes a run. Roberts, though, comes short and picks it up for Birmingham. Tries to send it through the middle, and Dukes. It's a good touch from Dukes, but it's important that Lloyd Jones tracked him all the way, got something on it, and Mannion pouncing it afterwards. Superb defending by Lloyd Jones.
Yeah, he's another one that's had an excellent game. There's been 4 or 5 brilliant performances out there today.
Mannion skied his clearance, but unfortunately for Charlton, Osman's header goes straight to Connor Cody, and then ball out to Carey, who tries to go down the line. It's come off Osman. It'll be a Charlton throw. Referee now wants everything hurried up, quite understandably. Nathan Jones came out to pick the ball up and then realised, I could get in trouble here, so just dropped the ball where he stood and sheepishly, I think, walked back to the bottom of the technical area. Charlton throw, Ramsey with it. In front of the Charlton dugouts. Ramsey down the line with the throw. Leeburn, the target, goes beyond him. Iwata with the clearance forward. Cody heads it back. Leeburn can't get there. It's time Seung Ho. And Clara touches it right to Laird. Laird on his toes. Kelman pursuing him. Over in front of him, Laird, so he stops, comes back inside to Iwata. Across here to the left, and Wagner. Wagner. Leeburn in front of him. Cuts it inside to Seung Ho. Held up by Carey. And Clara across to Laird. Laird with Roberts to his right, but back inside is Clara. Now Seung Ho once more. Across to Clara once more. Further right is Roberts. Bell comes out. Roberts looking for runners. Looking for something. Laird provides that movement, but back out to Roberts again. Roberts looking for a cross, gets it in, headed away by Gillespie. No Charlton player up forward, so it's Clara out to the left and Seung Ho. We've had into the final minute of added time. Ball inside to Wagner, tried a 1-2 with Seung Ho, didn't work. Now he launches it forward, Jones with a header away. And, Rankin Costello gives the ball back to Birmingham. Stansfield couldn't control it though, and this time that's a lovely ball out by Rankin Costello. Now Leeburn in possession into the area. Can he shoot? No, he just holds it up in the end and he invites the challenge, and Charlton will have a corner.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, the best scenario is he gets away and has a 1v1 with the keeper, but failing that, as he starts to get closed down, it's a case of keeping possession in their half, waiting for support. The corner is a bonus because that will take us in to added on time over as this delivery comes in.
The referee wants us to hurry up. That's a forlorn request, I suspect. And Carey going over to claim for the ball. Leeburn over there as well. I think this might be a short one. Birmingham players coming far too close, surely. Charlton won't mind that if they're eating up the clock themselves. Yeah. Carey and Leeburn over this corner. Shortly taken, I should say, into Leeburn, who's just holding his ground. Ball deflects out and cleared away up towards Stansfield, who turns away from Jones. Ramsey gets back there and gets the challenge in. Could be a Charlton throw, actually. It is. Super work from Kane Ramsey. And there it is. There's the final whistle. Connor Cody comes over to give Kane Ramsey the huge hug for that last challenge, which epitomised the game for the Addicts. The tense affair. Chances at a premium, especially in the first half. Charlton's chance with Clark, which was the closest we came. Birmingham really didn't offer a huge amount going forward, but always felt that they had danger there with Damari Gray. Second half continued pretty much as the first. Almost like a game of chess as both sides trying to find a way through. And it was Charlton that managed it, and Charlie Kelman pounced on the ball in the box. The first to react to the bouncing ball. He struck on 73 minutes to give Charlton the vital lead, and that's how it ended up. And that's a huge 3 points for the Addicts.
Yeah, I have to say, a lot of credit goes to the team for the clean sheet. I thought Jones, Bell and Ramsey were outstanding, as I thought was Clark. I thought that was one of Clark's best games. They really kept the Birmingham side in check. But the most important spell for me was as Birmingham just started to take control, Stansfield started to look a bit dangerous.
our manager reacted and he brought on Kelman and he made I can't remember the other substitution off the top of my head, but they had an immediate impact. The goal coming shortly after, and that goal is pivotal in terms of where our season sits. 44 points, multiple games to go. And I think the roar at the end that went round the valley tells you that there's a little bit of a sigh of relief there that we've managed to put 3 points on the board, but it was well deserved. Birmingham 3 straight losses, probably ends their season in terms of going for the playoff spots. They've got plenty to think about, but for Charlton, home form, when we've said this multiple times, was always going to be pivotal this year, and it's the place we pick up the most points. It's great that we've managed the clean sheet. The 3 points nudges us towards that magic total of 50, and I think we'll get there. Well, be fair, I've been saying it every week, we'll get there. I didn't ever see it as a problem, but it's nicer to get there sooner rather than later, and well done. I thought that was a terrific performance.
The Charlton players milking the applause, firstly in front of the Coventry stand, and then across towards this West stand in front of the covered end. If you were looking at the remaining fixtures and you're picking where you got your 3 points from, I don't know how high up this would have been on the list. A superb performance on the back of a really good performance against Wrexham, which didn't get the desserts it deserved. Well, this time the combination of a superb defensive display was coupled with the taking of that one gilt-edged chance that Kelman made and buried. Nathan Jones has the 3 fist pumps in front of the covered end. I don't know if Charlie Kelman would have a go. I think he's being ushered in that direction. Yeah. Players trying to make him do it. I'm not sure he's over the keen here. Covered end, standing as one. They want somebody. Lloyd Jones is trying to make Charlie Kelman do it. Yeah, he's got no choice now. A little shimmy and then the 3 pumps. There he goes. A little dance beforehand, which is nice.
Yeah. You've got to take it when it's on offer. It's like football's tough, and Charlie's had a tough year, but he's a goal scorer. There is no denying that, and he's a good player. But it is a tough transitional season for him back into the Championship from what was a wonderful League One campaign, and you've got to take the moments when they come your way, because there's enough horrible weekends where you're driving home on your own and it's disgusting feelings racing through your brain. So when you've got an opportunity to celebrate because you've scored the winning goal, absolutely take it, as he has. But yeah, that's a big result, Tel.
And the skipper, Greg Doherty, with the tunnel jump.
So he's another guy, honestly, some of the stuff that Doc does out of possession, blocking up, is magnificent. And he made way today, and I think he was a little bit gutted, but the substitutions did work.
Charlie Kelman with the next one, and just a note for Lyndon Dykes, who got to give credit to him. He walked across towards the Birmingham fans to give them an applause, which is good to see, and I think they gave it to him back as well. And so a very satisfactory and successful afternoon here at the Valley as Charlton run away 1-0 winners, and a vital 3 points as we head towards the end of the season. And up next, well, first of all, we got just a small matter of a long trip up towards the northeast and Middlesbrough, and then we leave southeast London and head towards Oxford United. Oxford awaits us and the Travelling Addicts next Saturday.
No, it's cold up here, Tel.
Is it really?
Yeah, you keep going though, mate.
You getting cold? It's not cold. You've got cookies to eat, haven't you? Yeah.
You're reading your phone, drifting off on your own, aren't you?
Some of us stick to script, you know. Not all of us, just some of us.
You're shaking.
Beg your pardon. Right, to stop Brownie getting hypothermia. My thanks to Greg Stubley, of course, to my right, Katie, of course, for the goodies, for Brownie to stop him getting hypothermia. Of course, to Lewis in production as well. Thanks, everybody. You take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you on Tuesday if you can. Take care, everyone. Good night.
Thank you.